Hello, BB Gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. Kafka playing the violin here. I love the idle animations in this game. It's something that just makes me happy. It really does. We're going back into this area today, which is kind of like a dungeon, it seems. And that's why I usually stop before we get into like the meat of a dungeon sometimes if there's like not a lot of time left. Because I feel like that usually gives us enough time for the next episode to really go through the chunk of the dungeon that will be a bit chunky, I'm guessing. Because the dungeons in this game have been very chunky. Not that it's a bad thing or anything. Also, people were saying that the glitches that I was getting in the last part weren't intentional. They were very much bad. Which honestly, like, here's the thing. There was times, you can look at the last video, there's times where I was like, this might be intentional. Then I was like, wait, that's weird. This looks like I've broken the game. And then like, so I was so confused. But yeah, what's gonna happen is in between this video and the next video, I will I'm going to delete the game and reinstall it. That's what I'm gonna do. I think it's the best way to go about it is to delete the game and then reinstall it. I think that's the best course of action. I have no idea at all why it's doing that. It is. I think it's probably just to download an update wrong or something like that. Because people were saying that like it's like it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't be. Because the same thing happened in another place too.
But
so
how should we get up there?
How should we get up there? Yeah, I don't think the banner's changed. Again, I always like lose with the Genshin banner. I feel like I'm always on like point of when the banner's coming up. But since like sometimes there's spoilers on the Honkai banner, I like never really like know the proper timing. So I don't know if the banner has changed yet. But we definitely can maybe check it out.
Don't get cocky.
Stand still.
Yeah, but I know you like it's always the best course of action to wait before you do this. Like, wait to get DOTs. But I feel like it's actually like not a bad decision when it comes to like the smaller enemies to just like Kafka wail on them a bit, you know? Especially when like, you know, you don't want to be here for a while doing this. Yeah.
Stand still.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff.
The path is blocked yet again.
Oryx's 8 always appears in times like this. How convenient.
100%. Ornix always helping us out. Look at the water here. They always do like a very like magical feel to like the dungeons in this game. And I mean, like, in fairness, in Honkai Star Rail and Amphoreus in general, there is like a very like mythical, magical feel to everything, I suppose. 100%. Whoa. Like the instant like jut and like change into gold, like pure, beautiful, gilded gold is such a crazy transition. I'm not someone who like thinks like, you know, something has to be like this pretty to be pretty. You know what I mean? Something has to be this clean to be pretty. Like I like the gothic feel so far of Styxia, but like it's just such a like an intentional and sudden change, and it makes you go, wow, like a lot of these places that we're in right now in this world that are pretty broken down and destroyed used to have this former kind of glory. And I think in a way like that it kind of makes you think about multiple things of just like all the things Amphoreus has gone through. You know what I mean? All the things Amphoreus had to deal with. It makes you think about that stuff right away, you know? And that's the thing, if the Council of Elders, like, you know the way they do the whole thing of like, you know, we can go back to the time when you used to be able to lock your doors. You know that thing they keep saying? The crisis era Chrysia. Like, if they said like, hey, like, we just kind of want to restore some old places, you know, make some old buildings look nice, I'd be like, hell yeah, let's go for it, you know? But their way of doing things is very unbelievable to me, so. But the thing is, as well though, like, it's like, things change over time, buildings change. You can't stop the passage of time sometimes, but in this case, it was just a lot of, it was crisis after crisis, wasn't there? 100%. What I was trying to say with the Council of Elders there is that I believe that it's like, they have a very much a mentality of like, thank you, ma'am. Of like, you know, and when it comes to the Council of Elders stuff, like, I always have to clarify that like, I'd very much like, do not agree with them, you know? I think there is like something to like, you know, you see this type of stuff here. Like, it's very clear why a lot of people are like, man, we need to return to like when things were like this. Oh my god, look, it's so beautiful. But I always think that's always sometimes dangerous thinking. Oh, look at this, it's so freaking sick.
A chest of the past has been left behind, but none of its treasures treasures remain inside.
I'm crying.
I'm crying. Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, like, holy hell, like, yeah, like, people are like, oh, I want to return to when everything was gold and gilded and beautiful. But I feel like even when in real life, when people do the whole thing of like, you know, we want to return to this time, the time when things were good, it's like, it wasn't good for everyone. It just was not. It was not a good time for everyone. I explained how, like, you know, when people are like, I want to go back to the good old days of Ireland, it's like, you mean when divorce was illegal? Like, what? Like, you want to go back to that time? This is a really cool mechanic, but obviously it's broken for me. As you can see, this is not supposed to happen, apparently. This is just not supposed to happen. So I don't know. It's very much broken, and I think it's probably just legitimately is just a bad download, you know, for sure. Which I will sort it out. Now again, the thing is, like, I also like thought that, like, you know, my audio was busted at one time, but like I don't know what could be happening unless like there's something wrong with PS5. But then like this is the only game that this happens, so that would be kind of strange. You know what I mean? Well, I do get glitches in some games, mate, but I think that's normal, right? To get glitches sometimes. Like, every once in a while. I was playing Resident Evil 9 and one of my guns was way bigger than before. So maybe that was a little bit of a glitch there, you know? Like, the attachment to it was way bigger than before. Who knows? Like, this is... Like, see, like, there's a force field here as well. We can just walk through this as well. This whole place looks fantastic, though. It's so cool. Because we can't get that chest because you have to drop this off somewhere. You know? We can't get that. Because it disappears. So where do we drop this off? What?
Oh, wait. What if the miracle suddenly loses
Oh my
its effect?
god.
Mem, do you really want me to answer?
Because it's like, you might not like the answer. This is so cool, like walking on an invisible platform. Now this must be intentional, right? Because the way Mem said that, right? Or maybe it's not. Again, I have no idea. Like, look at, it's changing things to the ground, but it looks cool nevertheless. You know what I mean? I think it looks cool regardless. Like, I'll take it.
Stay back. Don't come any closer.
This is the vault officer. Like, I think it looks cool.
Don't come near me.
Why does he look so panicked? Did the black tide monsters frighten him? Or is he actually scared of his own extraordinary power?
Also, he doesn't want to fight us with his power, is what Mem is saying. These are the troubles that powerhouses like us face. Let me fight him.
There's no need to be alarmed. We're just passing by the area. See? None of us look threatening.
You have a point.
Although?
While this might once have been the royal vault, it's since been plundered empty. So please go away right this instant.
You've misunderstood us. We simply heard your shouts as we were passing by, then decided to come over to find out what happened.
See, he's clearly very defensive because of what happened in the past, obviously.
My goodness. Did I really yell out loud? How rude of me.
It's not rude. Don't worry about it whatsoever.
I'm sorry to have bothered you.
No.
I merely saw a warrior. While that spirit didn't harm me, his blows really packed a hefty punch.
Now, is he talking about Midamos?
A warrior? Could it be?
I think it's Midamos.
Wait a minute. You seem to be quite different from him. Are you actually alive? How can you walk around here while alive?
Man, this is one of the most interesting things when these spirits notice that about you, like notice that you're alive, notice that you're like actually like with the living world. I think the person who was a scholar kind of noticed like there was something different about us as well. It makes them feel like less just like spirits that are passing through this world, and it makes them, it kind of drives home the fact of like being in between, being rejected. They still are part of this world in a weird way, you know?
It's a long story. We're here to seek an audience with Thanatos.
Thanatos? Who's that?
I wonder, did they just see death as a plague and they don't even know who Thanatos is?
Is it possible that he's also living in the era before death descended?
Possibly.
Death. Could Could it be that you are here to defeat the evil dragon Pollux?
Pollux.
Pollux. Is that the embodiment of No. Death?
Death. I love her design so much, by the way, guys. Sometimes they just zoom in on a character and you're like, man, this character's a really pretty character design, you know?
According to the warriors under the Centurion's command, that evil dragon has been dead for quite a while. The curse that condemns people to death didn't originate from it.
So it didn't start with the dragon.
But they saw a girl within the dragon's embrace, and she is the true Reaper.
Whoa, like the princess? Like the idea of the princess as well?
Pray tell, where is that girl right now?
I've heard that the Queen spared no effort in bringing her back to the castle. Her Majesty intends to control all of Amphoreus with this unprecedented power.
Wait.
As for whether this rumor is true, well, no one knows.
If it is a girl with the power of death, then like it would stand to reason that it could be Polyxia then, right? Because if it is, we know Polyxia, the rumor was that she could have come here, right? After what happened with the sacrifice and the potential resurrection of Castorice. And if it is someone with power like this, it might be Polyxia.
You have my thanks for the invaluable insight that you've given us.
It's amazing insight.
Please, treat this touch as a token of my gratitude.
See, even when she's making people pass on, you can see in her eyes, man, like it's just, it weighs so heavily on her.
You. Are you? Thank you.
Wow, the thank you was so heavy too.
This is his.
Oh, is it gonna be another memory for us? The way it zoomed in on us there was very cool. Let's see what it's gonna be this time.
Granted him death.
Oh, it's her.
That isn't like you. You would have refused even if I commanded you to do so.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I did it out of sympathy, believing that I wouldn't be racked with agony, but I am still in a state of turmoil.
Sympathy? Sympathy for that youth who triumphed in every battle?
That young man was favored by Talantin,
Talantin.
who taught him a move that will defeat any mortal enemy with a single blow.
Whoa.
And emerge victorious every time. He could rely on that move to always achieve victory during Era Chrysia. However, now that death has descended upon the mortal realm, that divine swordplay also means he can send others to death at will. In other words...
So, like, even at this point, they were talking about the idea of Era Chrysia being, you know, the era without death, before death descended upon the world as well. And now, during the era of death, that death has descended upon the mortal realm, it seems that, like, he can just, like, they're talking about how this person can just send people to die, like, so easily now.
You feel that he's similar to you?
Yes. Since he can never be inferior to others in martial combat, death would be the inevitable outcome every time he strikes.
So it is legit just because he's so big now, because he's so strong, and now that death exists in this world, the logical conclusion is that every time he fights, he's going to kill someone.
That's why he approached me and pleaded.
Oh my god.
Pleaded for me to put an end to all of this.
Imagine your strength being such a great thing for this, you know, for you and the place you were, maybe your army you were involved in or whatever. And then it becomes a thing where, like, now it means whenever you use that strength, you are going to legitimately kill someone. And that has racked his brain so much that he has to just die. He needs to die in his own mind, you know?
You are perhaps feeling lost from making your peace with death in so abrupt a manner.
I have not made peace with death.
No, we know this for Castorice. Death is something that she doesn't like, at least, you know, from our perception, it's something that's hard for her to still accept.
I've seen the people of Idonia stand tall and proud in the face of death.
Mm-hmm.
Even before the fated finale arrived, They were already content with the lives that they'd lived. They had such proud expressions. Expressions that made me believe death would be an insult to these mortals if the concept is truly a power that a god had carelessly cast down upon the world.
And it's interesting because the people of Idonia, their proud expressions and their feelings and their smiles and all this stuff too, we also know that there is like an idea that because of death, that's why they feel this way, because they were able to have such like lives that feel fulfilling. Because the idea of not being immortal has led them to kind of being more open to appreciating the small things in life. At least that's my perception, right?
Perhaps death's authority was never meant to exist in this world. Just like how I
Never say that.
exist.
Please never say that.
I won't refute your beliefs for now, but would you be interested in listening to a story of mine?
When someone with a voice like yours that talks like this, when they tell me they're going to tell me a story, I know that there's going to be some weird message behind it.
It's a fairy tale from foreign lands, told by the person who brought you to me in that ice field long ago.
Who?
A tale told by the Queen of Styxia.
Queen of Styxia.
What? Wait a minute. That means the girl born in the dragon's embrace, the personification of death these souls talked about. That's you,
Oh, yeah, because I was thinking it'd be Polyxia, but she would be here now after this era, right? Right? So the person who's born in the dragon's embrace is Castorice. You forgive me, obviously, not forgive me, you know what I mean? That's just a phrase, but you know what I mean? Like, I think anyone would understand me thinking Polyxia for a moment there. But like Castorice, I guess, would make sense as well because she was the one who was bringing death in Idonia.
I've already had an inkling for a while now. But I honestly have no memories of Styxia.
So interesting.
My memories only begin after Aminet brought me to Idonia.
So she has no memory of what happened here in Styxia, but she knows that she is from Styxia. I was thinking Polyxia, but like I guess Polyxia would be more here after, I guess, like she kind of after the sacrifice and all that. That's when she became a part of, or she went back to Styxia and supposedly resurrected Castorice after the sacrifice. But it makes sense, I guess, now in terms of like Idonia and the power that was back then and bringing death upon people, it would have been Castorice. But they said also like the dragon Pollux wasn't the origins though of the Sioux. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I think the way that they've made death such a powerful thing here and such a thing that's on the surface here in Styxia and Idonia, without sacrificing the weight of death, and how
Don't look back. Keep moving forward. Always.
that's what we'd like to do, right? Keep moving forward.
It's yet another eulogistic butterfly. Are we getting closer to the Nether realm?
But you definitely get what I'm saying when I say that, like, to make a story so about death and then have it still be respectful of the idea of death. I just think, I think that, like, you know, there's so many thoughts on death in the real world and real life, but in Honkai, it's very clear that, like, they want to, like, make death like they say the word death so many times, but it never loses its meaning because they have such great character writing with Castorice, putting still such a heavy emphasis on death and how sad that can be. They have the Idonians embracing life in such a really powerful way. They have the idea of this like death dragon descending upon the world, and the idea of the era before death and after death, which makes it like way more heavy than just like, you know, because I think sometimes when you do have a thing like no matter what it is, if you say a word over and over again in a game or a story, you know what I mean, it loses meaning sometimes. But they've really done a good job of keeping it very powerful, emotional, and heavy, like the idea of death. I think they've done a very good job of that for sure.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Jesus.
Even if that girl is evil, there's no reason for you to absolve that monster.
Are they talking about Castorice here?
It was the both of them, who trapped us in this crevice between life and death.
His voice trapped us between the crevice and life and death.
Don't be scared. They haven't noticed us at all.
I wonder what that is. It said it was both of them. And they talked about the absolving someone, and they talked about the girl, right? Could Castorice somehow be related to the reason why there's a lot of people that are between life and death? That got rejected in some way? Who knows? I love this though, man. This is such a great place. I thought this was gonna be like a much more intricate dungeon. But that happens sometimes with any game, right? And that's the thing that's like so interesting about like where are we going up here? That's so interesting always about like my playthroughs of these games. A rumble in the distance.
This is...
Huh?
Living ones?
What? Kafka playing the violin already? Look at this location, the lighting in from the windows. Speak to the spirit of the alchemist, by the way. Oh.
Oh, could you be the scions of Styx?
Scions of Styxia?
Did you hear about the great work that I'm doing here? And have thus arrived to give me the last material that I need for transmutation?
You're doing transmutation?
Great work?
Have you heard of the great name of Pollux, perchance?
Wait. It's the name of the dragon, right? I definitely heard the name of them many times today.
You have? Then that's good. During the age of myth, a time likely before your birth, I was the unsurpassed zenith of alchemy that none could reach. On the shoals of the River of Souls, I shall make Pollux soar again and bring death back to the world.
The idea of bringing Pollux back into this world, bringing death back into... What is happening?
But didn't that dragon already bring death to the
I love when
world?
Mem takes out the homework. Yeah, please explain.
Oh, looks like you don't know the whole picture.
Explain the whole picture.
Well, it's true that the missing girl can grant death to mortals.
Castorice, right?
Pollux, the one who delivered her onto this world, makes it so that humankind cannot die.
So Pollux brought Castorice into this world, and he's the one who has the true power to make humans immortal? How does this work?
So, it's just as I feared.
What did you figure out, please? You and that dragon are the two sides of the same coin. So one, Pollux maybe brings life into this world. It keeps people alive. And Castorice brings people towards death?
This is my guess. The deceased are supposed to drift down the River of Souls until they reach the end of the West Winds. But this River of Souls was blocked by Pollux's fall.
That's right. That's why it's imperative that I bring the dragon back to the
I'm kinda
mortal
confused.
realm and make it soar the skies again. I have long since prepared my alchemical matrix in the tower. Although I am still missing the most crucial material of all.
Are they saying that since when Pollux died, it made the River of Souls like blocked off, like it fell? Because they say Pollux like makes it so humankind cannot die. So when he died, maybe it's a thing that like the balance is off? Or maybe when he died, I don't know. I like the deceased supposed to drift down the River of Souls until reach the end of the West Winds, but the River of Souls was blocked by Pollux's fall. I wonder if it is like a balance thing where they need both Castorice and Pollux to kind of like maintain the balance here, and maybe that's why there are like so many people in between the worlds. I don't know.
That final ingredient, the final sacrifice, is none other than the girl who lives out her days with death.
Wait.
Huh? What's going on? You didn't touch him, did you?
I know that I am no longer capable of carrying out that task. Take this, all of you, and please fulfill that great undertaking on my behalf.
I feel like this is gonna be one of those stories that, like, I'm not gonna get, like, a full idea of what I'm dealing with until, like, the end. You know what I mean? For sure.
This.
We usually get these memories after we send people away, right?
We had been inebriated in Felusa's feast too long before we began to seek divine bestowed death, so that we could be freed from the whims of fate. However, that brought doom upon us.
Before we began to seek divine bestowed death. So they sought out death so they could escape the idea of fate?
Instead of summoning a supreme god, we encountered a monster that cut off the river of souls. That detestable dragon Pollux denied all the dead from the gates of the Nether realm.
So it's actually Pollux, since they keep people alive and there's no one here to bestow death, that they actually, like, are cutting off people from actually, like, getting to the end of the river of souls.
Unable to rest in peace, these departed spirits engulfed Styxia like
Jesus,
a roaring
man.
tide. As a result, my city and its people no longer exist.
That seems to be what's happening here. That's so freaking terrifying, though, right? So this dragon Pollux blocks off the Sea of Souls, the River of Souls, making sure that people can't die. And because of this, the people that are departed through the divine force of death actually can't pass on because it was being blocked off. Maybe that's how they were all, like, started engulfing Styxia like this.
That child is the only person whom I managed to save. Born within the evil dragon's abdomen, she has possessed the talent of death since her birth. She must have been granted to us by the gods as a chance for us to atone for our sins.
First of all, I think you put too much weight on the idea of gods. I know that they're powerful, 110%, but Jesus Christ, y'all have to learn how to, like, do stuff yourself sometimes. The second thing is, born within the evil dragon's abdomen. Are we saying Castorice was born within a dragon's stomach? What?
Please, you must nurture her to adulthood and prevent her from experiencing all of the suffering that we went through.
What the? So this one, she probably gave Castorice over to the people of Idonia? But didn't she find her in the frozen tundras?
I promise that I will care for her as a mother, that I will protect her from the evils of death.
Then she used her power of death for all this stuff, right? For Idonia, right?
By Felusa above, thank you for your kindness.
What the hell?
As her mother, please bless this child with a name before I am swept away by the river of souls. Please, let me know how I should address her in my next life. Oh.
Just think of a name on the spot?
Like how a transient raven butterfly, a fleeting papilio castor, perches on the twig of death.
Is that how she got to Castorice?
Castorice.
Wow.
That shall be her
So
name.
Castorice, born of a dragon's abdomen, their stomach, was the only person that she could really save as this, like, plague of souls engulfed Styxia. As the dragon Pollux blocked the river of souls from letting people depart into the next world. And she then asked Amunet to take Castorice to give her, like, a life free from this suffering, so that she can actually, like, you know, live on and not have to, like, I guess, deal with the horrors of Styxia. And she even said, like, oh, she's like a gift from the divine. She's a gift from the gods as a kind of a way to, like, atone, to give us death. She's able to grant people death.
That's where my name
It's crazy, man. Because I think that's what Castorice is, like, because there's so many people that, like, can't obviously, like, depart and can't die. She's able to let them pass on to the next life. But she said, like, protect her from the horrors of death. Do you think that's what Amina thought she was doing by trying to make death a very normalized thing in a way? Stop. A roar.
The sound's back. What is making that ruckus?
What is making the ruckus? This is again, I might be getting some of the elements of the story wrong because I think there is like a lot of like names sometimes in Honkai Star Rail. There's a lot of things that happen in Honkai Star Rail that like I don't always like understand. But I think I've gotten like a little bit of a line on what's happening here. A little bit, for sure. You see something?
Living ones, don't waste your time bickering. The Netherrealm's wrath is falling
The
upon you.
Netherrealm's wrath? You mean the Black Tide soldiers? It's so interesting how this alchemist was so lucid, right? And I wonder if it does come from the fact if you're studying this type of stuff in your life, like the fact that like, the scholar was, approaching the idea of like in her mind of how like, depressed she was and how she wanted to die and how like she saw the world in that way and how he like, literally is studying the idea of death and Pollux and Castorice. So he's more lucid when he's actually talking about this stuff too. Like I wonder if it's just like literally just like a thing where because the topic we're trying to talk about relates so much to death that these two characters, like the scholar and the alchemist, were so lucid. And I wonder if it's just because, like, let's say we go outside this thing. If you start asking about how his day was and what is his favorite food, he might not be as lucid. But it's interesting they're so lucid because they clearly, like, still thought about this even up until death.
Black Tide Creations. When did they...
They actually were out around the room when we came up here.
Miss, please fight them with caution.
Be careful not to suffer the same fate as those Black Tide creatures.
The alchemist genuinely seems to, like, want to help in some way.
Behind me.
Step out of it.
Relax.
I'm so interested in how this story's gonna unfold, honestly. As I said, like, I think it's gonna be one of those things that, like, by the end of this, we're gonna have, like, a much better understanding of everything that's happening.
What are you waiting
I feel
for?
like
To betray my customers? I charge
that's the same with any
extra.
story, right? For sure.
Stand still.
That's such almost like a redundant phrase, right? You know? By the end of this story, it'll be the end of the story. Well, no, I don't think every story like explains everything 100% right. Some things are up to interpretation.
There's so many of them. How are we holding out?
May as well kill them all.
Hedge your bets. The dice have been cast. Bust. Or maybe I'll take
This is such a funny move. And just Benji smiling down on them as well.
Where's the applause? Let's see some sparks fly!
I can't believe for so long I was using Luca with like 4-star artifacts defense. Wait, to hold it? Oh, I was yeah, I think what? Gotcha. Sometimes the best defense is a good defense. Sometimes the best offense
What are you waiting for? To betray
is a
my
good
customers?
sword.
I
That's
charge
an old
extra.
expression. You guys are saying sometimes the best defense is sometimes good offense is good defense, some of the good defense is good offense? Nah, guys, you guys got the expression wrong. Sometimes a good defense is a shield, sometimes a good offense is a sword. That's the expression. You guys will get it someday. Morsels?
Beast of strife.
What?
Triumph in return.
What? He's just here? Oh. So it is like a spirit. Like, what the hell? He was like fully formed in the cut. I thought we were getting actual Mindamos. Well, this is Mindamos, but what is happening?
Lord Mighty?
Oh my god, I miss you so much that almost killed me. Pun intended. Oh, I want to say this.
Lord Mighty. You've been through some tough battles once again.
How does this even work?
That black tide is endless. My death is only temporary.
Wait, so... Wait a second. Are we saying in his fight with the Black Tide he died and like, but he's gonna eventually come back to life? So literally right now he's dead and he's gonna come back to life.
path
What?
of return and go back to the world of
This is
the
insane.
living and continue my protection.
So he's literally right now, Minimos canonically in this world has deceased at this moment.
Lord Mighty, I
That's
have always
insane.
wanted to. Why does death reject you?
So he's gonna be fighting the Black Tide endlessly for the rest of his existence because he can't ever fully die.
I'm the one resisting it.
What?
I must resist the temptation to go with the flow.
So he's resisting the idea of death?
I'll go against the current and kill my way out of this cursed nether
I
realm.
wonder if he feels like he has to just not die. If like he has this duty to stay alive.
That is my destiny.
You decide your destiny, by the way. He seems to be stuttering. Is my day is this really the proud my day? I mean, yeah, I wouldn't really say either of these, but I guess I'll say one of them.
Seems like he's completely focused on resisting the temptation of the dead's whispers. He's working hard every minute to deny death.
That's crazy, just so he can stay alive to die once more. It's so Midas Moses' story is so insane.
It seems his battlefield is not limited to
Insane.
the world of the living.
He's fighting the Black Tide in real life on the front lines. He dies. He fights the Black Tide in between the Nether Realm and the real world. He'll come back to life and go back to fighting the Black Tide in the front line. Like, maybe I'm getting this wrong, but that's heartbreaking to me, the idea of Midamos just, like, died at one point. Like, you know, and again, as I say, it makes the world feel alive, right? Midamos is fighting canonically right now at all times, you know?
Lord Mighty, are you willing to travel with us?
Please.
We're headed for the Matrix inside that tower to summon Thanatos from their prolonged concealment.
Like, here's the thing, I want to make clear, I'm still excited to see Midamos in any form. But, like, I think I was, like, for a split second, I thought we were getting Midamos, like, arriving, like the Rohirrim, you know? Like, it's so crazy to see him in this way, right? Like, I'm so glad to see him, but there's also, like, a heartache about it.
Challenge. Death.
That's right. If we can work together and defeat them, you won't have to be troubled by the curse of immortality any longer.
Oh, man. He can die. Genuinely, it's one of those things that, like, there's such a big emphasis in this whole game on death, right? You know, the stuff with Blade as well. I wonder how Midamos would feel about that, because I wonder if he would actually want to keep the stuff with immortality, because that, like, literally, like, lets him protect Amphoreus for longer.
Let's go together.
Oh,
Castorice.
that's his old schoolmate. You know what I mean? Like, I need to make it like a TV show or a bunch of animated shorts of them when they were like getting taught by Anaxagoras.
Let the person who has brushed against death countless times guide your way.
Oh, it's so good to have him back. It's just it's so bittersweet, right?
Yes. Are you sure you want to do this? The alchemist said he wanted you to be a sacrifice.
I'm not afraid. There's no reason for us to turn back anymore. Rather than standing still, taking action is by far the better option. Perhaps fate might take pity on us today and show some compassion.
Perhaps. Perhaps indeed. Yeah, this is insane to me. It's one of those things where, like, if I'm being honest, like, I think, again, as I always say, intentionally so, because I do think that they are trying to do this thing where it's like, we would love to see Midamos again. And my eyes lit up, like, when I saw Midamos show up in that scene. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I felt amazing. But then you see him in the spirit form, and it, like, almost instantly becomes bittersweet. It's like this feeling of, like, oh my god, that's our Midamos, but it's a Midamos that's resisting death. It's a Midamos that's struggling. It's a Midamos that has died. And it makes you almost like your heart goes from like, oh my god, I'm so happy, to being like, this kind of is making me feel a certain way, you know? These locations are fantastic. Again, this must be like, when they say dragon bone, this must be what it is, right? This type of stuff here, for sure. For sure. Oh, look at the Black Titan. Oh, Bartholus, now's not the time, man. I just had a reunion with like a character that I loved. Look at the moon up there. Bartholus just gets destroyed. Like, no offense, Bartholus. Like, I'll do it, but like, Bartholus, now's not the time, okay? You need to pick your times better. He's like, how am I supposed to know that you had a reunion with this beautiful man? There's like 50 beautiful men in Honkai Star Rail. What am I supposed to do? True. Honestly, fair, Bartholus. Like, you expect me to not show up, but that's like what? Every time I see a beautiful man, I don't show up. I'd never show up. That's true. You're so correct. Yeah. Behold the great work of the old Bartholus. Whoa. Whoa, look at this view. Actually, I'm so glad I did this, Bartholus. Getting this view. Thank you. You draw stone pilfered from the bottomless depths of the sea, then to determine is it really held a crystal filled with magical power. A stone does lift the sky and split the... Oh, he's talking about the moon. You're no titan. So how much would they think up there fetch? It's invaluable, assuming you can find a way to move it. If you just had some more mountain dweller melt it down, you'd still get a good amount of gold out of it. So what's so funny about this is he gives me the vibes of like the kid who's like, my uncle works at Nintendo, and also he gives me all the new games. And you're like, oh, can you like give me a loan of one of those games that like haven't released yet? Sure, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll give you one. Then the next day they're like, I wasn't allowed. It's like, you know that vibe of like the moon up there? Yeah, that's my stone. That's mine. Like it's very like my uncle works at Nintendo to me. If I don't just spin a tale, this is neither the Nether realm. Worlds apart from the mortal realm. Who knows what those things in the sky actually are? So I must admit the view is absolutely killer. Wait, did I stumble upon the deadly joke? Well, I suppose there wouldn't be any living left to tell the tale with this killer on the loose. Killer on the loose? Can I just take this? Thank you so much, Bartholus. That was actually a really nice view. I think there's a part of me that thinks the game probably put that there intentionally to make you have a nice little view of this world. That's my take. I think they wanted you to see what's happening up there in a very beautiful view. And for the people that maybe don't take the time to look up, maybe that's what they were thinking. Because like, you can go like this, right? Look. Stunning.
Impressive.
Right? But there are people that are going to just do this. You know? 100%. What the hell? The purple flames are also cool as well. I'm very worried about what we're going to see here. Before you are rusted, look at, I can't believe Midas is with us, but it's in this fashion. Before you are rusted and broken chains and remnants of the path that once led to the tower, like Midas used to walk on, remember?
This is going to be difficult.
Didn't Castor and Kremlis also have this? Yes, 100%. Watching me jump over is hilarious.
Please calm down. If you were to fall into the icy cold river of souls, I'm afraid that you really would die here.
I always forget how, like, look at Mem, by the way. Mem's like, yeah, we're gonna jump. She was giving the support. Look at this, the two of us. She heard that we were gonna do a jump, and she's like, I believe in Stell. But Castor's, I always forget how short Castor's is, because, like, she's even looking up at Stell, you know?
If I was more powerful, I would be able to carry one person with each limb and fly the four of us to the other side.
This is why Mem and Stell get along so well, by the way. Like, who even thinks this way, you know? If only I could carry one person on every arm. I could be strong. Just one person on every arm, no one could touch me. She's doing like the karate moves, you know, the chops in the air. Like, there's no wonder that Stella and Mem get along so well. They're freaking like both gremlins. I cannot believe we're looking at Minamos. And it's actually criminal that he's just like this golden buttery color, because like I love looking at Minamos like in full form. You know what I mean?
The rune of recollection is here, but I can't find the miracle orb anywhere. So weird.
Interesting.
Oh, could it be in that collapsed tower in the distance?
Looks like it's your time to shine. 1 minute of Mem being useful comes from 1,000 days of training, Mem. No, Mem is always useful.
It's still up to me to step up in a crisis. Wait here. I'll go check things out.
Thank you so much, Mem. So, oh, look at the little flowers on the dragon bone. I'm thinking that is dragon bone, right? Like, it looks like dragon's tails almost in a way. 100%. Let's get this chest beforehand. I love this location so much. The feast is long ended, and the songs long silenced. The evening bell tolls, and the drowned still drifts, their face mirrored in the stars above. So the drowned were the people that, like, people who went into the River of Souls and still drift here today. It feels like this area is gigantic. It feels like you could explore, like, even other aspects of this for sure.
Just shout for me when you need my help.
I always need your help. Go, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Got it. Just leave it to me.
That should be a TV show. Please, ma'am. L2? Holy hell, ma'am.
Mem did it.
The pink squirrel.
Oh, the big squirrel. Vitamins.
Is very smart.
She is.
Why am I a squirrel now?
Honestly, whatever Mightymosa calls you, you just gotta accept it. The thing is, it's so weird that, like, again, this is our first time seeing Mightymosa since what happened at the end of Act 2, right? Legitimately, I really feel like it's one of those situations where, like, the game knows that this wasn't gonna be the reunion you wanted, but the game isn't about giving you always, like, what you want in terms of, like, a happiness meter. You know what I mean? The game has no problem being painful. Look at the flowers on this thing. Like, so them giving us Mightymosa but being like, yeah, but it's not what you think it is. You know, it's so bittersweet. And it has to be, like, for me, it has to be intentional 100%. Again, this is, like, glitched, I think, to death. And it's so upsetting because I think we go, but, like, look, we can just, it's still a cool look. Like, it's still insane.
A little closer.
Because it seems to me we're supposed to be walking on a
Aren't I a good fit for
this
Ornith's
chain.
priest?
Of course. You're the most competent priest ever.
Oh, Castorice. Like, I'm assuming that the chain was supposed to be there as well. Look, even here we're, like, barely even walking on it. And someone might say, well, Calvin, why didn't you delete the game yesterday? I only found out that, yes, it was a glitch, like, last night. I would not have been able to, like, record today if I didn't do that, you know what I mean? Luckily, it doesn't affect cutscenes or anything like that as well. But it is very, very crazy to me. Like, what's happening here. I'm just gonna I'm gonna delete the game and reinstall it over the next week. That's the only thing I can really do.
The alchemical matrix should be behind this door.
And the thing is with Honkai Star Rail now, like, it's the game itself, like, the file size is like 10,000 gigabytes, so it actually takes a while to, like, download that. I actually think it's like 120 or something, maybe. I don't know.
Is that...
Oh my god! No! No! That's Trian! In a way, I think seeing Trian here hurts more than seeing... Because again, we know Mightymosa is going to come back, right? We know Mightymosa is immortal, right? But we know Trian is gone. This is heavy as heck, man. What the hell? I was looking at this beautiful location because it's stunning. Like, the lighting is beautiful. It's almost like crystallized in like a shining light here. You cannot give me Trian right now.
Wow, there are so many of you.
Trian.
It's little Cass and little Gray. Oh, there's also little D.
Little
and
D.
the big puppy.
They are, like, gonna twist the knife in here, aren't they? 100%.
Trian? Aren't you?
Does that mean Trian is drifting then? Trian and Mighty, I get it now.
Get what?
I was hoping they'd explain it there.
I'm getting even more confused.
Please.
This is the first time I've encountered a deceased friend while going upstream in the River of Souls.
Wait, so they're currently traveling on the River of Souls? Is that what's happening right now?
It really works like this. Just like the other departed spirits we've encountered along the way, I'm also unable to sense the aura of the living on Lady Trian.
Is that what's happening? Is that like right now the reason why we're encountering Midamos and Trian is that they're both traveling on the River Souls. They're both heading towards death right now. But Midamos is like fighting against the current.
Yup, you're right. Trian already knows that she'll not be able to return to everyone's
Stop.
side.
It's just the fact that she's accepted it, you know?
But Trian believed that little Cass would eventually return to the Nether
Oh
realm.
my god, she thought she would see Cass again.
So, Trian has been standing here at this spot closest to the world of
No.
the living and waiting for little Cass.
She's been waiting for her this whole time. That's so heartbreaking. What the hell?
It must have been very tough for you.
The last thing she said was see you tomorrow. That's the last time we got to talk to her. And she's been waiting up here, close to the world of the living, for Castorice to show up.
But according to what Trian said, we're almost at the entrance of the Nether realm. Trian promised Trevi and Trinan that when little Cass got here, Trian would get the gift ready and be the first person to run over and welcome you.
This is insane. When I said they were going to twist the knife, I thought, again, like always Honkai Star Rail, this surprised me. I thought it was going to be like maybe an hour from now they're going to do something to twist the knife even further about Midamos and Trian, right? No, let's do it now.
So, little Cass, don't cry. Please, accept this.
Like, you know what's so weird as well? Like, I don't feel like blisteringly sad. I don't feel like my soul is screaming. I just feel like this chill where it's like, it just feels like weird and wrong and upsetting in that sense where it's like, you deserve to be alive right now. You know what I mean? You should be alive right now. And looking at a character accepting their death is almost as sad as a character not being able to accept their death. You know, it's so difficult to even think about for me. You get what I'm saying? It's like I have this, like my body feels warm, like and there's like a, I don't know, I know it contradicts the idea, but for me chills is more like a tingle, I guess, is what I'm saying. It just feels like wrong. It feels so like, it's sad, but not in the same way of like, oh, I'm gonna burst into tears. It's sad in a way of like, it just feels wrong. It just feels like this should not be. And it feels like this is so otherworldly, like, you know, out of place in a weird way. We should be talking to these two characters in real life. We should be talking to them and chatting with them and having fun with them. Nobody should ever have to accept their death in the way that Trian did. Nobody. Makes my heart, like, feel so weird. It really does.
We finally finished it.
Oh my god. Oh. Dear Lord, what is wrong with you, Honkai Star Rail? I've never had a freaking drawing like this send my heart into like a heavy, fast beat. This is beautiful, Trian. My heart feels so freaking heavy, man. I genuinely feel like Honkai Star Rail is twisting a knife like crazy here. Obviously all the drawings are perfect. Look at the way she drew freaking like Cypher and Phaidon, and he's like a true hero, and Mighty has like a lion beside him. Look at Don Hog with a smile. I've never seen Don Hog smile that heavy. Stell looks exactly like Stell, I feel like. This is beautiful. And then there's Castorice right in the middle. The biggest sweetheart who ever lived. This is heavy, man. This is the first time I've ever had like a drawing or like like, because we've seen this before in like in media where like a kid character will like draw people and it's like their heroes or people they love, and it always hits. But I feel like it's the first time that it just stopped me in my tracks like completely. It felt like I hit a wall.
This is what Lady Treby once mentioned. The gift for me that you didn't manage to finish.
Jesus freaking Christ. It almost shows how loved Castorice is, right?
The holy maiden of Janus. Even when separated by life and death, their thoughts are still connected.
That's amazing. Holy hell. Even though they're not together, even though they're literally in different realms, they're still connected. Guys, like, it's so crazy to me that, like, this is just, this has made my heart feel like it's about to explode.
Trian spent a lot of time drawing this. Trian hopes that little Cass likes it.
And something, you guys know, like, I'm like the biggest crier in the world. Like, a kitten walks through the door and I cry, but this is like, it's such a weird feeling to me to like, more just feel like someone hit me with a ton of bricks. I just keep staring at the picture. I'm looking at every corner. I'm looking around like it's an insane feeling.
Seriously?
Oh, casters, don't. I just said how I wasn't, like, for weirdly I wasn't crying. Do not start me off.
It's seriously a wonderful drawing. Lady Trian.
Let's not.
This is our flame chase journey.
I feel like this happens every time. When, like, I'm like, oh, I'm not tearing up. I'm not, like, it's weird. And then the character says something that makes me, like, feel like I have, like, something stuck in my throat almost. Like, it's so weird. I think it's just because, like, if this is describing, like, the flame chase journey, then it's, not only including everyone around here, but like also including Cypher and Anaxagoras is really beautiful to me. To me, it shows that like Trian had like a lot of faith in Cypher and Anaxagoras as well. I gotta like move on. I have to.
Little Cass, we don't know what your journey was like before. Treby has always said that it must have been a very harsh and frightening journey.
You know, it's so. I actually just noticed her arms are extended out, like when she held the two sticks. And it's like she's not holding anyone's hand. She's not truly connected to anyone physically, but like, look at all the people that surround her.
But little Cass no longer has anything to fear now, because everyone is here with you in this flame chase journey.
The way she said it. It's so crazy. The mad mix of emotions that this has brought.
That's right.
Like it's not unintentional that the drawing is like, it's like people in like a semicircle, right? It kind of reminds me of the circle that where the kids, you know, where she kind of got excluded from that as a kid.
Only now, when I see Lady Trian's gift, do I realize that I've already obtained so many things I would never have dared to dream of since I embarked on the flame chase journey.
It's so true. Like, from having no friends in terms of, well, she had a friend, but feeling like you can't have friends, feeling like you can't have a connection, to making connection with so many people, like, even you could say Cypher and Ixagris, she's maybe not as close, but I still think that Ixagris, like, thinks very highly of Castorice. I still think that Cypher also wants the best for Castorice as well. I think what we have in this frame here, in this picture here, is characters, the category is characters that want the best for Castorice. And that's like something so important to me.
It's the first time I've gained so many companions. The first time I picked up the hobbies of crafting and photography. The first time I had dinner with someone else.
What?
The first time I went to the market to buy the Chimera doll I'd liked for a very long time and hugged it to sleep.
I'm going to literally go back in time and burn Idonia to the ground. The first time you had dinner with someone else? What? You weren't eating food, you're eating food alone all the time? I want to be clear, there's nothing wrong with eating food alone. I like eating food, watching YouTube videos by myself, like every evening after I finish recording. 100%, I love doing that. But never before you came here? Idonia can burn. Burn to the ground for all I care. Jesus freaking Christ. And this is what I talk about this all the time, how like the little things in life are what's so important. Like, and we talked about this in throughout Amphoreus and Penacony, how people always think about life in this grand thing where it's like, oh, what's a life worth living? Did you do things that are worthwhile in your life? For me, personally, you could say, well, Calvin, like, the majority of your days you record videos, and then in the evening, you make a cup of tea and you edit those videos. And then you make your dinner and you eat your dinner watching your favorite streamer. And then you maybe watch like a K-drama and you go to sleep, and then you go to the shop, and you have this routine, and it's like, it's those little things that make things really like enjoyable on this earth. You know, it's the small things. And even like buying a Chimera doll I've liked for a very long time and hugged to sleep. It's like being able to buy something for herself.
The first time I wore a dress personally made by Lady Aglaya. The first time I went for a walk with Lady Treeby, Lady Trian, and Lady Trinan.
Holy freaking hell.
The first time I enjoyed the night breeze and looked up at the stars with Miss Hyacinth. The first time I took care of illnesses with the Trailblazer.
Oh. Like, it's just like, sometimes it does take this as perspective to understand like all the things you've obtained throughout life.
Looking back at all these experiences I never thought were possible, it feels as though the scales of my life had shrunk from centuries and decades down to minutes and seconds. And all of them are so precious.
Oh. It just gives you perspective, doesn't it?
I took countless photos in the past, but they're all black and white landscapes. I don't have a single one with friends.
But now you have this picture.
If I had known, I would have taken more pictures.
So beautiful. Oh. Then shall we take one now, please?
Trian says yes! Trian likes little Cass and would love to take a picture with little Cass.
What a way to break the tension of that moment with that voice acting too.
Sadly, being departed souls, our images cannot be captured in the world of the living.
But you would know they were there, though. We could pretend they were there, right?
I thought so too.
Like, I would still look at that picture and say, I know Maide and Trian were there.
What? Are we seriously going to leave any room for regret?
There won't be any regrets. This vivid drawing surpasses any photograph from the world of the living.
It embodies everything that she's gotten ever since she's come to this world. They tried to use her as a pawn at the Council of Elders, and they ended up giving her all the friends she could ever ask for.
Little Cass smiled.
Oh.
Treeby, Trina, and Trian's wishes finally come true.
She's so happy about it as well.
I remember you once said that fate is not the flowers that bloom at the end of the road, but where people tread beyond the gate. Now, the path that belongs to me is about to reach the end.
No, whoa.
Thank you for bringing me the final key.
We do not say any words like final. Ever.
Key? Little Cass, why are you talking in riddles all of a sudden?
I have a feeling that soon, this gift of yours will become the key
The drawing?
to saving Mrs. Life.
Wait.
That's amazing! Then keep smiling and carry on bravely!
It's so beautiful. I saw Cypher in the background.
Little Cass, Little Gray, everyone, see you tomorrow!
Don't ever say that again. We know the meaning of see you tomorrow, but like, holy freaking hell. With a blinding smile, Trian's golden form disappears in the thin fog of Styxia's moonlit night. Yes, Cypher's there.
Trian.
She waited there for Castorice just to give her that.
The aura of this place. We have indeed reached the end of the stream of souls.
When Castorice was talking about the finality of things, by the way, I think she's talking about finding, that's her journey, was finding the Titan of Death.
If I go any further, I might lose myself. I must leave now.
Yeah, he's still fighting against that.
Tide still wreaks havoc in the realm of the living.
He's going to continue the fight against the Black Tide. Don't you want to know? I think Midamos at his journey has been so long, and he made up his mind in Act 2.
I have broken free from the chains of death countless times. This time will be no different.
He's literally made up his mind. It's one of those things where if I could have him back, I would, but it's like you don't want to trample on something that he's so beautifully created for himself.
Castorice, will you fulfill your duty for the flame chase?
I have yet to make my decision, Lord Mighty.
The smile. Again, you have to, like, it always feels like they're like, they're schoolmates, they're friends for life.
No matter. Make the choice your heart desires. Yeah. Even if it takes 1,000 years of waiting.
I think what's so important about this as well is that Midamos also took the time to pick his choice. No one rushed him into anything. They tried to, but he made the choice that he felt was right for him and his people in the end.
I will continue to fight till I die, then rise from death till the miracle descends.
He's literally going to keep fighting until the prophecy is fulfilled.
There is one more thing you should know, Lord.
Why does that always terrify me in Honkai Star when they say one more thing or anything like that?
What is it?
Professor Anaxa may have deduced the principles behind the Era Nova.
Oh, yeah.
You and I may be reincarnated as strife and death in the next cycle, becoming calamities wreaking havoc upon the world.
It's a cyclical cycle, yeah. I know Cypher's heard this as well.
I see.
Now for Mightimus, is that a thing where he knows that he's going to be fighting until the miracle happens, and then he's thinking, now I'm going to have to fight constantly against the Black Tide and then come back as something that wreaks havoc?
Is that all? Are you going to accept such a fate without complaints?
Do you have a strategy to shatter the shackles of our fate?
He's like saying, how are we going to stop it? How are we going to stop it?
I haven't found it yet. Perhaps I never will.
Then, cease wasting your thoughts on futile matters. Control what little you can. And when fate's inescapable grasp comes...
Oh my god, inspirational Mightimus.
Resist it with the strength of your mighty will.
He said, carve your own freaking... But look at his eyes. Even in, like, butter form, but he is, like, legitimately, like, still Mightimus. Still that look in his eyes. See, still that determination. Still that striking vision that honestly fills my heart with a determination as well. He's still that Mightimus. And I loved it, like, all the time. Like, again, the reason why I say, like, they were schoolmates, right, is because you can tell between Finon, Castorice, and Mightimus that they have such a care for each other that only comes from years of knowing each other. And it always feels like, to me, like, with Mightimus and Finon, while they bicker, they don't bicker with Castorice. They don't play about Castorice. You know what I mean? And nobody does. And that's what I love so much about Castorice. I'm gonna cry. Nobody plays about Castorice, right? There's bickering, there's making fun of people, there's joking around. None of these characters play about Castorice. There is not a single soul in Amphoreus. And here's the thing, I'm not, and even to a sense, Cypher's the same thing. It's that one, you know, that one person where, like, you know, like the way, you ever know that, like, your group of friends where everyone makes fun of each other, there's like everyone like talks about each other, maybe everyone gossips about each other, but then they bring up that one person's name, you're like, hey, we're not going to make fun of Janine, you know, we're not going to make fun of, let's not do that. And then the person who doesn't like Janine realizes, wait, there's actually nobody I can gossip about Janine because nobody plays about Janine. Nobody's going to let anyone talk crap about Janine. Castorice is that person. There's people that talk crap about Aglaia in this world, and Exagoras. Finon and Maide bicker with each other. People joke about Cypher being very selfish. I know you can say, well, Tran and Tribios as well, 110%, but even they have like a very like, sharp kind of like very comfortable relationship with Aglaia, where they also kind of like have this little thing between each other where they can comfortable enough to have like some jokes between each other. But with Castorice, it's this thing with these characters where every single soul in Amphoreus, every single soul is like, Castorice is our gal. Castorice is our gal, and there's nothing you can say. And I know people say, well, Calvin, no one talks bad about Hyacinth, no one talks about Triad, 100%, but you get what I'm saying. I feel like Castorice is that one character in Amphoreus that everyone's like, you do not talk crap about Castorice. You don't say anything bad about Castorice. They don't play about Castorice. You know?
Thank you, Lord Mighty. I will find the right decision.
At least that's my feeling. I feel like even Tributran and Tribios like are the same way with Castorice. You know what I mean? It just generally feels like that one person, you know, that when someone says like, I don't really like Castorice, and everyone like drops their, phones and whatever they're doing, and they're like, well, maybe you should leave. Maybe you should find the door then. Cypher heard the whole thing.
In the name of strife, may you meet
Thank you,
a
Mightimus.
fitting end.
This must be the alchemical matrix the spirit mentioned. Let's see. We need to insert Aquila's sky, Georios' earth, Kefli's fire, Fagusa's ocean, and Nestia's love.
Nestia's love. Cypher looking on in the back.
It seems our sweet Princess Homebody has made up her mind. In that case, seamstress, I suppose I no longer need to deliver your message.
Was she had a message?
My time is rather precious after all.
Cypher's such an interesting character as
Whether
well.
you wish to break free from death or not, please follow your heart. By the promise you once made, I ask that you fulfill your duty one final time.
So follow your heart but fulfill your duty?
Castorice, please live as a human
Huh?
and die as
Huh?
one.
Aglaia? Aglaia?
According to that alchemist, the final piece is supposed to be me.
Live as a human and die as one? She's saying that, like... Because then he talked about her being a sacrifice earlier.
However, he is not privy to the past, and therefore cannot see the full picture.
Let's not do this at all. Let's go home.
The
I'm so
past?
worried, guys. I just had the most worrying the feeling in the pit of my stomach now.
I saw the twins of death in Kethali's memory, and now I am certain that I was one of them.
So there's the... well, we're certain too. We're certain that you are Polyxia's sister. 100%.
The trial of the Hand of Shadow demanded taking the life of your family.
Insane.
I died during that trial, falling before the gate to the new world. And my sister, whom I never met, became the Titan Thanatos of this
That's what we
cycle.
presumed, right? That's yeah. This is just her confirming it to her, which again is important to confirm it for herself as well, right?
She was consumed with regret over my death, so she used the Titan's authority to reforge my soul. Yet, it also means she has never revealed herself to anyone, hidden away from the entire world.
So her reforging souls will hit her away eventually. Okay.
That's because the Titan she became already fell at the start of everything. They died for me, and now lie in slumber in the river of souls.
So she's saying that like when she did this, she would maybe would equivalent exchange died. So a Titan actually died and now is asleep in the river of souls. Jesus Christ.
You mean Pollux?
Pollux. Wait, so are they saying that like wait, so if Pollux is blocking the Sea of Souls with their own death, does that mean Polyxia became Pollux then? So Pollux, that makes, oh my god, so Pollux is the Titan of Death, and Polyxia became Pollux, and Pollux fell then into the Sea of Souls, and blocked all these people from moving on in life.
That's right. The River of Souls is no material river. It cannot be blocked by
Jesus,
ordinary
man.
means. Only a divine corpse can prevent the dead from reaching the
Jesus.
next world.
A divine corpse.
And that's why we have to awaken Pollux from death before we can retrieve the core flame
We have
of
to
death.
resurrect a dragon.
We have to reforge its body with the power of alchemy.
Oh my god.
But Cass, if that alchemist speaks the truth, does that mean you're also part of the dragon body?
Because they were born of the dragon body, right, of Pollux.
According to those departed spirits, I was indeed born as the
dragon's twin.
But before we talk about that, have you heard the sighs?
Heard the sighs I did when I was collecting the souls. You sigh many times on the way home, Stell. The sighs.
I heard them too. So what are those?
I think it's probably the sign of Pollux's wish being fulfilled.
Well, when you were sending people's souls back, is that what's happening?
They must have realized how heavy a price they'd need to pay when they used their divine authority to resurrect a dead woman. That's why they exerted every ounce of their strength to send me to Styxia, a city that called for death, a land where none is hostile to death.
Wait. They must have realized the heavy price they need to pay when they resurrected Castorice. So then they sent her to Styxia. because no one would be afraid of death here.
They never saw their wish fulfilled and fell so prematurely, all because they wanted to give me a new life. Pollux must really want to know how their sister has been after giving their all to save her.
Oh my god, so it's like a sigh of relief knowing that Castorice came back then?
That wish is the reason Pollux's soul still lingers in the mortal realm, even after their fall. Quietly watching and documenting every detail of their sister's life.
Ah! So instead of picking up objects on the way here,
we were instead showing things to a strand of yearning that lingers here. Now, we must weave these yearnings together.
What?
And restore them into Pollux's complete soul.
We've been showing things to a strand of yearning that lingers here. Now we must weave these things. Wait, what? How? What does this mean? So after Pollux has fell, their soul still lingered in the mortal realm, documenting what happened to Castorice. And so we were showing things to a strand of yearning. So we were literally showing showing these things to Pollux. And now we can restore their soul this way?
but all of this is just a hypothesis, right? What
This
if
is
we go
so
through with
insane.
the ritual and it turns out totally different?
Because now it all makes sense what they were saying earlier about the idea of like the. Because I was like, why would the dragon fall falling if they can bring life to people? Why I thought it was balance they were talking about, but in some ways, like I think it actually is just like no, not in some ways. It is what Castor said. It is a divine corpse within the sea of souls, in the river of souls.
That's fine. As Professor Anaxa often reminds us, such is the
talking
nature
about her
of
teacher.
alchemy. The true outcome can only be known once the process is complete. This is why alchemy is also known as the miracle of creation. Now, the puzzle of Pollux's yearnings is nearly complete, with only one final piece remaining. I shall reveal what they have been yearning to know in the alchemical matrix. I will show them my whole life since I left Styxia.
Because they've been wanting to find out what happened to their sister this whole time.
Lady Trienne has already drawn a picture of my entire life. And it is now in my hands.
So that's what she meant by the picture. Like she's able to say, like, this is what I've accomplished in my life. This is what's happened to me ever since I left your side. This is insane to me. So, again, just to go over what I think is happening here, right? Oh, there's more souls here as well, like in the grove. When Pollux is to me is the embodiment of death, right? They are like the titan of death. The dragon, right? Thanatos. Maybe I'm wrong about that aspect, or maybe I'm getting confused on that part. I'm just presuming if they were like, if they became the Titan and they also the one that fell into the River of Souls, then it would stand to reason that they are the Titan of Death. But Castorice was born as a twin to Pollux. And she was sacrificed in the ritual to become the Death Titan. And in the sacrifice, her sister was grieved by this and used the power of alchemy to bring her back, to resurrect her. But because of this was like an equivalent exchange, I think, which made Pollux fall. And in that process, they blocked the stream of the River of Souls. And that's what stopped people from getting past or going on in life. I might be getting things mixed up, but like I think that's what is happening here. And now, what the fallen Death Titan or the fallen sibling of Castorice wants to see is how well their sister has done, since that's what they yearn for. So when we've been obtaining things and talking about things, it's been fulfilling those yearn. Look how beautiful this place is. Holy freaking hell, it's one of the prettiest places in the entire game. It's been quenching that yearning thirst. And now we're going to use this picture to truly show them how far Castorice has come. That's what I'm getting from this story. And as always, pick stuff up. Change some stuff around if you need to, guys. Let's see how this goes.
Then, let the ritual begin.
Doesn't change the fact that I'm super worried about this as well.
And now, the objective is complete. That is all.
Will this work? Look at the smile on her face.
Such is what Professor Anaxa always says after preparing for an alchemical ritual.
And now...
Pollux, I shall lift you from the river of souls and reforge your soul. Perhaps you will be disturbed by this, and your body may become horrifying to behold.
Might not be able to handle it.
But if even the slightest trace of your soul remains, the soul that once ferried me to this side of the shore, then please, look at me. I wish to thank you in person. I have obtained everything you sacrificed.
They literally sacrificed, like, their titanhood so Castorice could have a life that she could live on, and that's what she wants to see. She wants to see, like, how well has she done with this life that I've given her.
Lady Almanette.
Oh, whoa.
Did she recognize you? Oh, she must be the first soul we can communicate with here, right?
I'm afraid she is just another spirit trapped here, like the rest of them. The only difference is that I was there when she died.
Right, okay.
Please, go on. I'm listening. Are you about to tell the story of Styxia?
Wait, for real?
Yes. You're just as smart as I imagined.
Okay.
But... never mind. Now's not the time.
When would be the time?
There's no need to worry, Elder. Take a look around you. You're already at the resting place of the dead.
Trying to remind her where she is.
The world of the dead. But how?
I understand that you chose to remain silent about the story to protect Castorice, the girl who coexists with death.
Coexists.
But you no longer need to hide that story. I can assure you that you have protected that girl's life well.
Well, in that case, let me begin. Styxia, the pearl of the ocean, plagued by unwarranted calamity and ravaged by death in the fairy tale. It was the first city-state to shift their faith towards death, even before Idonia did. From where you stand now, I suppose that's a bit hard to believe. Right?
Maybe.
Indeed. I cannot imagine that those from the era Chrysia, blessed with eternal life, could ever yearn for death.
I have pondered the same question, child. But I am afraid there is no clear answer to it.
Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. That's how someone once explained to me why death is necessary to the world.
That's... Again, we talked about how, like, this is actually very... To me, like, it's understandable, this idea of this way of living, right? Because, again, you cherish everything in life, right?
But I still can't take that as the final answer. Would a world without journeys and epics be worse off?
So is Castorice asking, like, hey, like, if we do erase death, will that erase all these epics? Will it erase these stories? And that's a good question. Like, what would people... Because again, if you're somebody who's going to live for 2,000 years, you won't have the urgency to make something of your life sometimes, right? And here, let's be honest, in fairness, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, in our lifetime, like, you know, you don't have to make something for your life. You don't have to be, like, something crazy. You know, everyone who's born is already special. But it's like, you know, if we find out that, say, when we were born, you're told you're going to live for the next 3,000 years, right? You're going to live for the next 5,000 years, whatever, right? That day that I spent scrolling on my phone all day from 9 a.m. all the way to, you know, 2 a.m., this is going to feel like a day wasted, right? But I feel like sometimes because we know life is so short, because you spend your time scrolling your phone from 9 a.m. all the way down to 2 a.m. and only after you realize you're like, oh man, did I just spend the whole day doing that? It hurts more because you know that's a day that you felt like you wasted. But if I knew I was immortal, okay, I'll spend a week on my phone. You know, that doesn't seem like I wasted anything, you know?
I take it the one who spoke this line was a general, or perhaps a warrior. I, however, did find some inspiration in these words. Would you like to hear my thoughts, Castorice?
I guess so.
Please enlighten me, Lady Amunet. Though I have already made up my mind on how to handle the authority and core flame of death. Your words might truly guide me toward the path forward.
You and I are neither warriors nor generals. Therefore, journeys and epics cannot truly resonate with us.
I mean, you can relate to the idea of like determination and tenacity, right? Like there's that there.
But what if I reframe it like this? What if love is not a trait bestowed upon mortals by Nestia, but a blessing from death?
Okay.
Love.
No one ever invented the word cherish in the era when life was eternal.
Interesting.
For all the good things in the world can be revisited endlessly.
Yeah, I get that.
Every bond formed carried no risk of being severed.
That actually clearly makes sense, right? It's like the idea of cherishing something is to hold it dear, so just in case you might lose it, right? You know, cherish my love, just, you know, as I let's say, you know. But it's one of those things where like, it's so interesting to think of it this way, because again, it's like, if your life is immortal and like, you know, it's like, well, in 200 years I can go back and do this thing again, you know? Things will end. Things have a life cycle. So this idea of cherishing that time is so important. And sometimes we don't realize we should have cherished it more until we leave that time, you know?
The so-called Era Chrysia was an age devoid of both virtue and sin. People did not truly
This is
live.
so interesting to me.
They simply existed, going through the motions without passion or purpose, then waiting for something to happen.
Because I still think people would have purpose and passion even if there wasn't more. I just think people would be a lot slower about it, you know what I mean?
Perhaps the people of Styxia chose to embrace death not out of fascination with its cruel and fearsome side,
The life cycle of my controller. I cherish the battery that it's like 3 hours long in the PS5 controller.
but instead became fixated and obsessed with the impulses and desires tied
So interesting.
to a finite
So interesting to me.
existence.
Imagine becoming obsessed with the idea of like eventually dying, because that means you will have more of a cherished experience of life. You'd appreciate life more. It's so interesting. It's such a different answer than what you'd expect, right? Because if when you hear like people like, we want death to be bestowed upon the world, it sounds very evil, right? But in a way, it's like them saying we want death because we want things to have a purpose. We want the life we have to have more meaning, to mean something more amazing. There's a show, and it's not a spoiler because like it's literally like the whole premise of the show, but there's a show called it's Freerun, and what's interesting about, I think the, like, you know, if you boil down a concept of a show, it's literally about the idea of like realizing that even in this long life there is like, you know, you may be eternal, but other people aren't. So like they become more cherished as time goes on, and you learn to cherish time a little bit better, you know, and take things a little bit slower, and smell the flowers and really appreciate everything, you know what I mean? Whereas in a life where everything is like this, where it's immortal, you do get the idea, and I get the idea. I do get the idea. Although I do still think people would still have passions in some way, I just think we'd be slower about it. Like, you know, it's one of those things where like there is an urgency for people to do stuff now. You know what I mean? For some people, like it's like I should play this game now, right? Because I don't know what's gonna happen. My mother used to say something to me, guys, and it probably sounds dark, but like I remember like when I used to be like, I don't know if I should get this game or whatever. I'd be talking to her like, say like, you know, I'm like, you know, years and years ago, I don't know if I should get this game. You know, I have the money to get it. I don't know if I should get it. And she would always say something to me that was like, was very interesting. And I think it like really embodies what this is, you know? She just would say to me, well, Calvin, what if you get hit by a bus tomorrow? and then she goes, you would never have played that game. And I was like, wow, you know, very true, very freaking true. Or, you know, the old phrase is you can't take your money with you, you know, and that's all. Like, it's very interesting to me, you know? Yeah.
Therefore, death is not a thing of fear and desperation, but...
That's right, Castorice. It is the reason we shed tears when parting ways, and also the original spark that ignited the passion of mortals. If you truly intend to deprive the world of death, then be prepared to witness it return to a state of stagnation.
She's saying this is what would happen. Again, it's like one of those things where like there's arguments for both sides here. But I'm always like kind of against the idea of immortality and law. And you guys know that from watching my playthroughs 110%. I think it should be a choice. I think individuals should get to choose, right? That's my perspective, but that's not obviously what's happening here, you know?
I understand, Lady Amunet. Our limited lifespan shapes all that we know and love. Not even the Death Titan has the right to take that away from humankind again. Nestia's love was the chrysalis of gold's first blessing, but it most likely wasn't understood by mankind. We only learned to interpret this wonderful gift after Thanatos' arrival.
Man, it's so accurate to life. It's like, it's the old expression, you don't know what you got till it's gone, you know? I think, you know, even on smaller scale stuff, I'm sorry for giving a bad example again, but even like the idea of like, actually I'll give a bigger scale example. One of my friends left the country when I was a teenager, right? And I hung out with her like all the time, but it was one of those situations where, I remember specifically, I had this, when she left the country, my instant feeling was like, man, like, I remember she invited me to like, you know, her horror movie night she was having one night with her friends. I remember like I chose to like stay at home, and it's a simple thing of just like, man, I remember even thinking in that moment as I was walking away after I said goodbye, being like, man, if I wish I went to the horror night, you know, because hindsight's 2020, right? The bad example I was going to give is like when Futurama got cancelled. I was like, man, I wish I appreciated that show more. You know, that's a worse example, but I get what they're saying.
If the world was bereft of death, then the Queen of Styxia wouldn't have played a midwife in delivering me into this world. You wouldn't have welcomed me into Idonia, and Aglaya would never have invited me to join the Flame Chase journey. None of these stories would ever have happened.
Death has brought a lot of happiness to Castorice in a way.
And I would never have lived, let alone found happiness. Incredible
way of phrasing this, right? It is like death has brought her a life. It's brought her so much, because I think she sees it as a curse. She sees all these things as a curse, but in reality, death has literally given her the most passionate friends. Again, as I said, you don't play about Castorice. You know what I mean? You don't play about Castorice.
Thank you, Mother.
Whoa. Seeing Castorice hug anyone is wild.
I will use all the love I've experienced in this long life to complete the final miracle.
How about, let's stop saying final. Let's stop saying final, end, journey, end. Let's stop saying all this stuff. How about we do that? But again, she's talking about love is the same coin as, death, right?
My teacher,
Stop.
Anaxagoras, grant me the wisdom of all things.
Look at this rain.
I call upon thee.
The Philosopher's
to stretch
Stone.
dead dragon's corpse.
Oh my freaking god, guys. Holy hell, look at this.
Rises from the earth.
What?
Falls from the
Is that an
sky.
egg?
As above,
This music.
so below.
The freaking waves coming in. Stop.
This is the greatest power of all powers. Unstoppable in
This
world.
music. Oh my god, the Reaper.
The great work that commands all death.
Holy freaking hell.
I shall grant you embrace.
Holy frick, oh my god. No way, what? What? When an ally target's HP is reduced, accumulates desperate bubble. This music. It's like they're still forming out of the egg as well. Please say this isn't the sacrifice that they were talking about. Because again, I know there's like an idea of like, if we're bringing this dragon back. And they were, and earlier on the alchemist was talking about the idea of sacrifice as well. Please, let's not do that. Upon reaching the limit, remove the damage mitigation and enter in the enhanced state. Let's not. So I guess, oh wait, a shield, wait, they can take health even when we have a shield up? That's a bit... Well, they, okay.
Show yourself again once we eradicate this hatred and regret.
Whoa. And here's the thing, can I say this right now? Like, I can complain about them taking my health even though I have a shield up, but like, this is a freaking like Netherwing Husk, the Ferry of Souls. Is this then the Death Titan, or is it just like, is it just that Pollux became the Death Titan? Thanatos. You guys can explain that to me a little better as well.
Better throw a punch, snap out of it.
Oh my god, the damage we're doing. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. We gotta be careful because we do not have a healer this time around. We do not. Let's get into this as well. But we do have a shielder, but they can take her health even without the like doing that. We might actually need Lotcha.
The dice have been cast.
This setting is incredible.
Bust. Or...
No way, just the freaking like Pollux. Look at Pollux just hanging out here like on that thing. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, eventually it's gonna be a big part of this for us.
We're just having fun. Try this on for size.
Let's go. This is the music here is so eerie, so dark.
Time to say bye.
Oh, she says boom. Stop standing in the miasma. It's so crazy to me. It's terrifying. Okay, so they'll just whip us. They can break through shields. They don't care about shields. They don't give a damn about shields. Extra action? No. I disagree, actually. I don't think you should get... we will... I think we're gonna have to use Lotcha 100%, in my view. Which is fine. Because like if they can take health without a shielder is kind of like not as useful. You know what I mean? Because they can just take health without it. Doesn't matter what the shield is. It does not matter whatsoever.
Let's see some sparks fly.
If we have to change to Lotcha, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
Better hedge your bets.
I'm gonna start trying to break them.
Stand still.
Just even the gunshot is not doing that much damage.
Like more business.
Because like again, it renders our shield like not as useful and kind of it bypasses. Again, I'm not opposed to it because this is literally like Pollux. You know, this is like the thing that took over the is a fallen Titan basically, right? Or at least has the power of a Titan.
The customer.
So I'm not necessarily going to be like, oh, why is it so powerful?
Well,
Why does it make sense that this enemy's powerful? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we're dead already. Look at this. Yeah, it's over.
All in.
Yeah. I actually could replace...
And I know you're anxious.
Don't be afraid. You can hear. It's almost like it definitely is like a very soft voice for the dragon, right? For sure. Yeah, we're gonna die now for sure. Oh, we're getting healing back though, so I guess we gain when we attack, we gain our heals back.
Remember.
Oh, we do. That's cool. Oh no, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why that is, but we'll take it.
Going all in. Tabs on me.
Tabs on me.
The dice have been cast.
We could break them.
Or
it's so funny seeing Pollux like this.
Take it all.
There's no more need to weep in grief.
Relax.
I will grant you peace. Yeah, sister.
Yes, it's me. I'm back.
I'm saying I'm back as well, by the way. Holy freaking hell. This is so heavy as well, isn't it?
Small fry.
Only in this heavy moment here, Luke would be like, small fry. It does a bit of damage to our shield as well, but... Oh, this is so sick. The music here is so sick.
No dirty tricks, all in.
Love this. We'll get this, and we'll get the damage here by Kafka as well.
Good times. Never left. Time to say bye.
She's just like, get out of the miasma.
Boom. May as well kill them all.
May as well kill them all. Okay. Let's just blast. Lovely stuff.
Alright, I'll call your bet.
We can attack. I think breaking down the shield is a good idea.
Stand still.
Try this on for size.
Yeah, he's doing so good here. It's actually, I thought it was gonna be a bad team. It's actually, I think, a good team for this, 100%.
Snap out of it.
Oh god. I'm recovered from my break. I went to Five Guys. Oh god. We're barely surviving with that, and I wonder if it's intentional in some way, or maybe it's just like when we're closer to death, the shield is actually protecting us from getting heavy damage.
They may be moving by instinct, but there is fury welling up within them.
So they're still afraid, they're still terrified.
This won't take long.
Better hedge your bets. Can't lose this one.
Should we still do some down? Yeah, that's good. Okay, just trying to gain back health here.
Cast.
It's such a cool boss.
Bust. Or maybe I'll take it all.
Because especially with Castorice talking about how it's terrified, right? How it's afraid, you know?
Simple Koski always takes care of his friend.
Did he laugh as he said that?
What are you waiting for? The customer is king. And for me to portray the king, well, you gotta make it worth my while.
Whoa.
Need a hand? My pleasure.
They're there again.
Don't turn back
What?
to the Nether
What?
realm.
Holy hell, look at Castorice.
Oh, Death,
And she like cut her in half?
sleep in peace.
Whoa, and they cut away in that moment too? My heart, man. That was such a crazy, eerie boss battle. Because it didn't feel like, you know what it was eerie? It didn't feel like I wanted to destroy Pollux. It didn't feel like it wasn't a boss fight where we were like, let's do this. You know?
I'm sorry I have to wake you up from ancient death. And I know you're anxious. Shh. Don't be afraid.
But she said, you know, don't turn back. Don't turn back.
Do you remember me? I'm the girl you once carried across the Sea of Souls.
Look at this image, by the way. Castorice with her sister.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to remember you, but with the help of many people, I was finally able to pick up these broken fragments of my past. I'm back, Pollux.
Jesus, man. They're finally face to face with her sister again.
I know this might not be what you wanted. But I have to do this.
Like hiding inside the... What exactly are we doing after this?
So please, carry me across the Sea of Souls again and return me to the Nether realm. Just like you did in the past.
Is she just trying to take her core flame in this moment?
Please take me to where the core flame of death rests.
What's happening?
I'll be going now.
Let's go.
They may look scary, but as long
as we... What?
What's happening?
Is it because Stella is so close to death as well? Like there's something like resonating in her brain?
What's wrong?
Because it's not happening to Mem, right? I feel dizzy.
Are you...
I wonder if it is because she is so close to death.
What's wrong with her?
Her time is almost up. If I don't go now, I'm afraid her soul will return to Thanatos' embrace before me.
Wait, so what are you gonna do?
What? Oh no! Is there anything we can do?
I'm so worried. I'm so freaking worried.
Don't worry. I promised I would ask Thanatos for the Trailblazers' right to roam the Earth again. Mem, stay here and keep a close watch until I return.
Oh no, she's going by herself. My heart just sank. That always worries me.
Alright. I'm the best at taking care of others.
Oh, Mem.
Go on, Cass. Make sure not to leave yourself with any regrets.
Take your time, I can still hide out. I'll go too. Let's see. Oh, this is a very stealthy thing to say, even with her head ringing.
That's not funny.
Yeah, but it's such a stealth thing to say.
It's a deal then.
This is the most, like... In a very spiritual way, this is the most, like, confident I've ever seen Castorice. The most confident I've ever seen her. Please.
Wait for me.
We will. There's no talks of sacrifice. Okay? That alchemist wasn't a doo-doo idiot. Please. Oh, you sit in your little dinghy, eager to hear my song, and closely behind, please turn back to your homeland. Venture not into me in this vast sea, perhaps without seeing me, you will lose your way in the ocean. The ocean across never been sailed by anyone.
After all that...
Who's this?
You still ended up back here.
Is that Pollux? No freaking way. It's her sister, isn't it? What the hell? Look at this!
So the legends were true. The Nether realm really is a sea of flowers.
It's stunning.
Yes.
It's Polyxia. Oh no. It's Polyxia. But we never seen her like this before.
Just like the flower fields we tended to back then.
Look at her.
Is that you, Polyxia?
She's never seen her like this either, right? In this form, without like not as a memory.
Do you remember me?
This is so sad. It's so sad.
I don't have the memories from that time, but I've seen you before during an experiment.
Yeah, we got to see her with Anaxagoras. This place is gorgeous. Look at this place. No, an auto. Look at this place.
I see. Call me Thanatos, then.
Yeah.
It'll be easier.
I don't know. I want to call you Polyxia.
However, since you recognize the name, you must already know everything about Thanatos,
Ooh.
right?
It's just insane to me because Castorice's whole story since we got here has been the idea of trying to find the Death Titan, the hidden Death Titan. And this whole time it was her sister that she had forgotten. And now she's finally in front of the Death Titan. And it's Polyxia. You know, it's her sister.
Yes. I'm
Look at it.
here to reforge the order of life and death in Amphoreus.
You know, my sister was a sympathetic, but rather sensitive person. Whenever she didn't want to say what was on her mind, she would avoid eye contact and look off into the distance.
I don't think Castorice is like that anymore. She said she wanted to, just by the way, to reforge the order of life and death of Amphoreus. She's saying she wants to bring, she doesn't want to erase death?
Just like what you are doing now.
Oh, she doesn't want to look her in the eyes?
Can you tell me about the last Era Nova?
Oh, yeah, because of the cyclical cycle, right?
What did you do, Polyxia?
Where should I begin? I suppose we can start from the beginning.
Please, look at the it's like a moon, but it's like an egg almost as well, right?
A long, long time ago, there were a pair of like-minded twins. As foretold in the prophecy, they were chosen to be successors to the god of
I love.
death.
By the way, I have a feeling that a lot of this is gonna be stuff that we like know, right? I think it's gonna be. But I think it's gonna be useful to compile all of our thoughts on what happened in one place, right? 100%. That's the way I see it, anyway.
But fate was cruel. The price of attaining divinity was to take the life of our closest kin with our own hands.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
That trial was indeed recorded in that memory.
Then you should already know that my sister voluntarily gave up her own life so that I could ascend as the demigod of death.
We got this idea already though, right? We definitely understood this too. Castorice seemed at the time way more prepared than Polyxia was to do this, right? 110%.
But I couldn't accept that. Why did we have to kill each other for a future she'd never see herself?
I agree.
That's not
I
fair.
agree so much. It's not fair. It's not fair at all.
So, while weaving the laws of the new world, I shattered the forbidden bottom line for life and death.
Shattered it. Is that how she brought her back then?
I reshaped my sister's soul and took the form of the great dragon Pollux.
So that's why she took that
carried her up
form.
the River of Souls and back into the mortal realm.
That's how much she saw this as being unfair. And we saw that uncertainty beforehand. That was built up. Like, we saw that. She didn't want to do this. She didn't want her sisters to have to die for this either. She turned to the dragon Pollux and carried her up the River of Souls.
But our fates were already decided and manifested in unexpected ways in response to my futile actions. Aging is an unbreakable law of nature laid upon
this area.
humankind, created at the same time as death. When the living die, their souls will meet Thanatos, who would determine where every soul goes. If the Reaper raises their left hand, the soul is granted death and allowed to enter the Nether realm to await reincarnation. If they raise their right hand,
What?
the soul is rejected by the Nether realm and returned to the mortal realm to continue walking the earth.
Wait, so... Is that what happened to people that got rejected? So wait, there's like a system in place that like... of raising hands?
That's why the Hand of Shadow can only lay down judgment and not embrace another being.
That's why she can't touch anyone?
Yes. Death was originally a pair of hands, but they were split in twain when we reached the mortal realm, never to touch each
What
other.
the
ever
freaking
again.
hell? What? Death was a pair of hands split in twain. So when they joined the mortal realm, that's when it was made that they were determined that they can never touch. So were they each the hand of death? Castorice and Polyxia, the two hands of death?
The half of Thanatos that represents life, the undying human who grants death. That was the curse I forced upon you.
So the curse that Castorice has on her now is the undying human who grants death, the executioner in that way.
Then, what about you?
As the half of Thanatos representing death, I shoulder the fate of defying death. I died the moment I entered the world of the living.
Jesus Christ.
From then on, Titan also no longer existed in this world. The cycle of life and death stopped. Souls were denied their audience with death and were left stranded within an ever-rising river of the dead.
Just to understand this fully, she said one side can only, that's Castor's side, lays down judgment of death. And the other side, representing death, is about defying death, about keeping people alive. And when she entered the world of the living, she died. And that stopped people from being able to move on, it seems.
What irony. My selfish desire to save your life gave you and the world a fate far worse than death instead.
It's hard to even think about, isn't it? It's really hard to even think about.
Then,
What?
was left of my reason was left behind in the Nether realm, where I've been taking care of these flowers day after
This
day,
is such a gorgeous scene.
until there is now a sea of them, all while mulling over the subject of life, death, parting, and enduring an endless loneliness.
That is a fate. She gave up so much for her sister to live. She gave up so much. I wanted to make sure the dialogue played, guys. For sure.
Fate is absurd indeed. Our lives were a mirrored image of one another, like a pair of hands. Even so, we arrived at the same destination.
They're here in the Nether realm, together.
We walked different paths, yet experienced the same pain.
I had hoped that maybe you would at least have a good life in this cycle.
Oh, and that's the yearning she had, right, for Castorice to live a good life. Can she show her the picture?
I'm sorry.
Oh no, Thanatos. I'm not even Thanatos. Polyxia, don't.
I lived my life well. It didn't go to waste. As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
you did nothing wrong.
This is very powerful for Castorice to say this, because Castorice could sit here and be like, I wish you wouldn't have done that. I wanted you to live. I didn't want you to suffer, right? But it's already been done. Castorice to say you made me live a good life is all it's more comforting than anything else you could say. Because if she turned around to her sister right now and started, and got on her knees and said, why would you do this? Why? It makes her feel like this eternal loneliness she's felt was for nothing. But at least she can say that, oh, Castorice had a good life. Which is so beautiful, but so brutal.
Even though I forced the authority of granting death to humanity upon you, a total stranger.
You have no idea how much of a good life you gave to Castorice.
Too many responsibilities were forced upon me in the course of this long journey. I was once lost, even upset.
Lonely as well.
But I realized recently that if it weren't for your blessing, I wouldn't have understood the source of these emotions.
Yeah.
Nor would I have realized my purpose. I wouldn't have made it here to reunite with my missing half. And we wouldn't be discussing our past while sharing the same view of this landscape. I wouldn't have understood the meaning of our existence.
Castorice has such a beautiful outlook on life now. And how this led her to having not only just such a beautiful life, but also understanding the emotions that she's felt, the pain that she felt, the loneliness that she felt. Where this all came from.
The meaning of our existence.
This sea of flowers blooms on dead land, because we sowed it with the seeds of our separation, and watered it with our tears of loneliness.
What a way to put it.
Yes, the only thing death is allowed to create are flowers that bloom from blood and tears.
Jesus. Like, it's beautiful imagery, but it's just so brutal at the same time. But that's death, I think, right? In this world. It's brutal but beautiful.
That's why Thanatos cannot create living beings at will. Nor can the hand of shadow determine a person's remaining days. Because the life and death of mortals should never be dictated by another's will.
Right. It's so, like, interesting because there's loads of debates even about that in our life now, right? In our existence, in our world as well. The life and death of mortals should never be dictated by another's will. She's saying that I shouldn't be, no one should be the one to decide how someone else dies.
Are you saying there's no point in Thanatos' existence?
No. No single being can bear the scales of life and death on their own. Not even a god. Life and death weigh equally heavy. We both know that now, don't we?
I mean, we learned about how, like, both life and death are like the same, like it's the same coin. Death brings meaning to life. Life brings meaning to death.
You, too, must have had a difficult life.
There was a lot. There was a lot. You should see it.
We've taken quite a ridiculous journey together, haven't we? I had a feeling, even back then,
that we would meet again one day. Not to embrace one another after a long separation, but to come in search of retribution.
Retribution.
Tell me the answer that's already been written. And let us draw this seemingly endless fate to a close.
Can I just say that this is such a masterful way of doing this? Throughout this whole time, Castorice has been trying to find the Death Titan. And not only is it her sister, but like, again, if you told anyone the story, and this is why Honkai Star Rail is amazing, if you told anyone the story of the Death Titan and how she's going to find the Death Titan, and you'd imagine that the ending of finding the Death Titan is a Grim Reaper hanging over her with a voice like this, you know, like something terrifying. It's a walk in a field of flowers born from blood and tears. You know, moving alongside and strolling along with her sister as they discuss the life they've had. Like, it's not what you would expect when you hear about the Death Titan at first at all. Turned it completely on its head in the most beautiful fashion. Honestly. Such a beautiful thing. And all her sister wanted was to make sure she had a good life.
It's been far too long. I've waited here for centuries.
Centuries.
Watching day after day as desperate spirits are denied by this lonely wasteland. I always hoped I would see you among them. But I was also afraid of seeing you.
Yes, that makes perfect sense.
I didn't know how I could possibly face you again.
So because they're rejecting souls in the Sea of Souls, that's why a lot of the River of Souls, a lot of the souls are still there. That's why Minamos is like that's why everyone's showing up here, right? That's why Triana's still here. But she hoped that in a way, and again, it's such an honest way of putting it, I'd hoped to have seen you there. It's almost like saying I'd hoped that your spirit would have like come here. She's not saying I hope you would have died. It's like this really like very honest answer of like, I wish I was hoping you would arrive here, because at least then I would get to see you, but it was also a fear of mine to see you here as well. Are they saying that now, and maybe I'm wrong, because there's no balance to death right now and life, people aren't actually dying, they're like, their souls are being like caught, like everyone? Is it like a thing where everyone's souls are being caught?
But more than anything,
Oh Jesus, man.
I was afraid that you might have forgotten all about me.
And we know that like technically this did happen, but she was reminded of you.
I know. But don't you see, Polyxia? I made it back anyway.
You did. You definitely did.
You don't have to shoulder Death's authority on your own anymore. It was always meant to be held in two hands.
What does that mean? Are you gonna bring Polyxia into this? Like, how does that work?
So, let's give our core flame to her, and have her take it back to the mortal realm. Give humanity back their cycle of life and death.
Castorice, what are you talking about? Giving Stell the core flame and having her take it back? What are you talking about?
Our responsibility as Thanatos was never about picking out favorite souls. We were only meant to watch over life.
As the two hands of death, right?
Let's tend the field together.
No.
And create a warm sea of flowers
No.
for all the souls to come.
Please. I'm begging. I am begging. Like, it's like, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful idea, because I think what she's saying is she's saying that I want to tend to these flowers with you. You don't have to do this alone. She knows her sister's been alone for so long. But the way she's talking, I'm gonna give the core flame back to Stell. Let's tend to this together. I don't want to do this game without Castorice. I really don't.
What do you think, Polyxia?
Oh my god.
Yes, just one last step. You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains.
What?
And be reborn with the dead flame.
What does that mean? You shall wither, and through that the dead will sprout again for the remains.
As foretold by the prophecy, Thanatos' authority is only destined for only one person to wield. As the Chrysos heir of death, as their demigod, as a titan.
Wait, she's saying the one who will have to sacrifice himself again to do this?
Our fated moment has arrived once again.
What?
Just like before.
I think she's talking about that sacrifice again, right?
Yes, just like before.
Jesus, dude.
But unlike that time, the ones undergoing the trial this time are prepared.
Because they were not the first time. Especially not Polyxia.
You've made up your mind.
This is gonna kill me, isn't it? This is gonna absolutely kill me.
Yes, as dictated by fate. But I won't be afraid. As long as you're here with me.
It feels like Castorice is like repaying the life that was given to her by her sister. She's had such an amazing life that I'm glad. Here's the thing, that doesn't deny the suffering she went through, but I'm so glad she was able to appreciate the most beautiful parts of her life. I really am.
Complete your trial in this life. Grant me the embrace of death. And light the spark of life.
Wait, so Castorice is going to become the Death Titan? This time around?
You've been tempered by life and death. I know you'll be able to give this wasteland its first breath of life.
What the hell, man? And again, I with the language you're using is the idea of Castorice, like, you know, taking over the duties with Polyxia. And I want to make it clear, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful idea. But that doesn't change the fact that it's absolutely heartbreaking.
Like a raven butterfly, flying swiftly into the nether realm, perching on the twig of death.
I will. After this, I will remain permanently in the nether realm. The river of souls shall return here and rain down from the sky, scattering souls across the earth.
I feel like this game does this all the time and has to, no, they've done it, and again, it's what I always say, it's intentional because they love ripping my hair out. They let you get to know a character before they rip them away from you. All the frickin' time.
The cycle of life and death will flow once again. This sea of flowers you sowed shall bear countless joyous or sorrowful souls and bloom evermore.
I looked away from the screen because I was tears in my eyes, and I looked back and instantly it started hitting me again when I looked at Castorice.
Thank you.
Centuries that she's been waiting. Centuries.
Just one last thing. Can you grant me one wish?
Oh, Lord.
Of course. What is it?
Please. Don't forget me.
Oh my God. That's all she wants. She was hope that you remember me.
I promise you.
She lived in isolation for centuries thinking, and she did. The world forgot her. Like, for centuries. She was forgotten. If it wasn't for Anaxagoras, she would be forgotten.
When we meet in the next world, even if I have endured another reincarnation, even if we do not know each other's names, I will still hold you tightly in my arms Just like what I did when we were born. Castorice, you're as beautiful as a fleeting butterfly.
Oh my freaking god, it hurts so much. No, no. Oh.
I will bring rest
Look.
to death. And from now on, stagnant life will once again flow.
The dragon. What? In what universe? In what universe, Honkai?
Time flies. In the blink of an eye, the 15th entry hour is already at hand.
Jesus Christ.
When this farce is over, your soul will be placed on the scales of life and death. Are you ready?
I might like my brain is not working as well as it could be.
No need to ask so many times. Of course I am.
Then why do you drag your feet? Is your fear of crowds holding you back again?
I simply find them too noisy. Paying attention to conceited fools like them would be an utter waste of my time.
It's so amazing to me that I think, like, you know, sending it back to Anaxagoras. Anaxagoras literally reunited Castorice with Polyxia. He's literally the reason that Polyxia will never be forgotten now. I'm not saying, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm giving all the credit to Anaxagoras, but I really feel like, you know, what he did for Castorice, even if it's gonna hurt me for the rest of my life, it's something so precious that you can't help but believe he just cares so much.
Such harsh words. As I see it, you are no less arrogant than they are.
Yeah, but he's pretty doing it. He gets pretty privilege. Okay? That's for me. I give him the pretty privilege card. He can literally do anything, you know?
I couldn't agree more.
Oh!
Oh. I did not expect to hear that from you. Are you not going to refute me?
This reminds me of like someone wanting a fight, you know? And you're not gonna argue? You're gonna argue with me?
I know myself better than you think I do. At the very least, better than a stowaway like you.
And they say men whose ends are nigh have but kind words. Well, that is exactly why I chose you.
Because he doesn't always have kind words. Look at this pose he's doing.
Should I thank you for the compliment?
The hour of the trial has come. Do you have an answer for me? And how will you prove the veracity of your argument?
So this is the council, right? The public council thing.
I suppose there is no point in putting this off any longer. Do you recall where we stopped the last time?
You were saying that Amphoreus' history is cyclical.
Indeed.
Amazing. Looking back at this
demigods
image,
that
all the...
bear
Oh my god!
flames eventually become the new titans at the world's end.
Now Castorice is there too.
Remember what happened on the Holy Mountain? Calypso, Naias. As their destined ends approached, one by one, they left this world, leaving only the twins, who are fated to succeed death. Unfortunately, while their journey is consistent with ours, you and Calypso, as well as Nicodor and Naias, act as supporting evidence.
I can only come up with a rough sketch for my theory of a cyclical history. For all the pains I took to reach this point, I had already lost hope of ever obtaining definitive proof. After all, the past is in the past. Proving that we are the legacies of heroes of the past is a hopeless endeavor.
For all the pains I took to reach the point, I'd already lost hope for ever obtaining definitive proof.
That is, until I met a girl named Polyxia and her sister.
Oh my god, right after what just happened?
If Castorice was truly sent from the past to the present for the Titan's self-serving reasons, then having lived through 2 cycles, and with Styxia as the pivot, she will no doubt be the link to connect all of this together.
Because she was part of the world back then, and she's part of our world now. She's lived through the 2 cycles of the what he's trying to prove here, right? The cyclical nature of the world. She was a part of the world before the Titans were reborn, and she's now part of the world again before they're reborn again.
If the Twins of Death can bridge 2 cycles to reunite at the shores of the Sea of Souls, then my hypothesis will no longer be just a hypothesis. And you too will get the answer.
So what happens there will prove him right.
Well, that is all well and good, but how can you be so sure? If there is even the slightest error in your hypothesis, the girl will be shattered.
The girl will be shattered?
It matters not. The most important quality a scholar must possess is foolhardiness.
Just to go for it.
If you are overly cautious, then you'll never have the gumption to make the first step.
I mean, yeah.
Change will never come.
I mean, yeah. And it's the same with anything in life, man. You gotta take those first steps, you know, and change something. Even on a small level, we all know how terrifying that is.
Besides, I, Anaxagoras, am destined to overturn this farcical world. Come, let us go and teach those pathetic worms one final lesson.
Guys, I'm of course ending the episode here. Like, there's no way I have any brain capacity to think about what's gonna happen next, guys. Just being completely real with you. There's not an ounce of me. There's not a world in me. There's not a feeling in me that thinks I can understand what's about to happen. Just being honest with you guys. Like, and you guys know, like, we need the brain capacity to even talk about all this, and we need to like kind of ascertain what happened. And please, I this time around, and we always do this. Please give your insight onto what happened with the whole situation with oh Jesus, being in Styxia isn't like, okay, we gotta go up to the Astro Express. In terms of, and again, I know I've said this a few times, guys, and I do apologize for not actually doing it. The books here on the side, you see the books we can read. When we go into this, I will do it next time. And this time, and I never do this, but this time it will be a straight on promise, right? The issue is just like, again, it's when we have these big, I think it's always, I should read these like when we have like the start of an act and stuff, I guess, too, you know what I mean? I think it just, you know, it's kind of difficult at these times, 100%. I never even realized we're standing on like a little platform here. I'm probably not going to understand everything. I'm probably not going to get everything. I'm probably not going to like really ascertain everything. And that's fine, right? That's perfectly fine. Because I don't think anyone's expecting me to understand everything fully. You know what I mean? That's just not what people are expecting from this series. People just want to hear my thoughts, and I'm always very appreciative of that. My interpretation of what just happened in this story is Anaxagoras sent Castorice to Styxia so that the joining of 2 cycles of Castorice in the current cycle and Polyxia in the last cycle can come together and somehow prove that he was correct in terms of his ideas that the world is cyclical and that the humans will become titans after they become demigods, right? Castorice that's my Anaxagoras part, right? In terms of stuff with Castorice, my interpretation of what was said there is Castorice and Polyxia were destined to be part of the ritual to become the Titan of Death. What was supposed to happen was that Castorice would be sacrificed for Polyxia, and Polyxia would then ascend to become Thanatos. But Polyxia really hated this idea because she wanted her sister to live a good life. And both of them were not ready for this situation and should never be in this situation anyway. So she took the form of the dragon Pollux and ferried. Because it seems like the dragon Pollux seems to be like something that's necessary for the River of Souls as well, the Sea of Souls. And she ferried her sister and resurrected her life and kind of put together a soul again so that she may live a life past this too. But in the process of that, Polyxia fell, and basically the corpse of a dead divine beast fell into the Sea of Souls, which stopped people from dying fully. Now, I don't know if it's people just in Styxia or if it's people altogether lost the ability to fully die. They've been lost wandering souls. Because they said that what happens is when you face the dead, when you face Thanatos basically has two hands. Polyxia, Castorice. Castorice grants death. Polyxia rejects death. So you can be rejected by Polyxia or killed by, or granted death by Castorice, the two hands of death, the two sisters. And because a divine titan had fell into the Sea of Souls, not only could people not reach the end of the Sea of Souls or the River of Souls, but there was no one to reject, there was no one to grant and reject death. So death was just getting rejected here, and that's why you saw all these souls, not being able to fully move on. That's the estimation I'm getting from this. And that's why Castor says she wants to balance out everything so it may bring a balance back to life and death. I think so anyway. I think so. Polyxia said that she had given her sister a curse, basically that she will now be able to grant death through life and in the living world. But she just wanted her to have a good life. We have this unbelievably beautiful story of a sister sacrificing her own life and her own divinity, even, I would say, to live in centuries of isolation just so that her sister can live on and have a happy life. Just so her sister can live on and have some type of happiness. And even throughout this whole thing, the yearning and the sighs that we heard was the yearning of just the knowledge that Castorice had a good life. And I think it's such a beautiful message in the story and it's so important to the story that where they started with the Castorice story with us was something so simple that we didn't pick up on at first. We just thought she was awkward. We just thought she was a bit like quirky, put the camera on the ground. Emphasizing forever, like, where we were heading with this story. Asking Dan Hong to put the camera on the ground so she can pick it up and then take the picture. The embrace that she had with Stell, being able to touch her face, the first person she has touched since that old lady that died at the grave. The first human person that she has touched. And not led to someone's... And when I say this is the first person she's ever touched that didn't die in the mortal realm, Estelle. This constant journey of trying to find death, and it all culminated here. And and again, when I say it's so well built up, we knew that this is what she wanted. We knew she wanted to face death. We knew she wanted to understand death and finally face the Titan of Death. And that's what she got here. She got what she wanted in the end. But it was something that we couldn't even expect. Again, like I said, when I pictured the meeting with the Death Titan, I pictured a giant, like, purple Grim Reaper going, Castorice, you have finally arrived at the River of Souls. What penance will you give? That's what I expected when I first heard about the Titan of Death. You know what I mean? You think of, like, this giant ethereal creature. But again, Honkai Star Rail loves taking things and turning your perspective around completely. And what we got instead was a meeting with her sister after all these years. Her lonely sister that just didn't want to be forgotten in the end and just wanted her sister to have a good life. And again, as we said, those moments, as I said, I got off track a little bit, but the camera, the embrace with Stell, the moments where, people said that she was warm and deserved love and she had a beautiful embrace even though she couldn't touch people, like the stuff that Treeby said to her. The stuff from her past where she couldn't touch people and she couldn't play with the other kids. The one kid that helped her along by helping her touch the twig. Feeling like her hands could only embrace death and nothing else, and they were cold and could never feel warmth. All this stuff, every bit of this led to a beautiful moment where we can see that all the pain that she's gone through, all these feelings of knowing that this physical touch that she was absent from, not being able to take a camera from Don Hong, not being able to thank Tribby with a high five, not being able to hug, Finon or Midemos, not being able to like embrace these people, not being able to play with the other kids, all this stuff is a feeling of pain. And Castorice on the surface is a character of pain. There's a layer of pain over all of this. But if you look slightly deeper into Castorice, which we did throughout this playthrough, they give you this trickle upon trickle upon trickle of care, of warmth, constantly this feeling of like she's so lovely and loving. She's so willing to help people and embrace people emotionally, but she couldn't see that because while we were seeing through the layer of pain, she found it hard to look through this layer of pain. That's why when Treeby said that you have the warmest embrace in the world, it was like someone just told her that she won the lottery. She acted like those people who win Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You know what I mean? She lost her breath. Because through her hands were made to kill. But the embrace is more than just touch and physical touch. And that's again what's so beautiful about her Castorice's story. Because in the end, that picture personified everything and that journey. Everything. Because everybody in that picture there, as I said, don't play about Castorice. They don't mess around about Castorice. It's the type of, I told you, it's the type of character that, the type of person that we all know that someone from the outside tries to come in and be like, I'm not really a big fan of Jerry. Okay, well, you can F off. It's like, I'm not a big fan of Castorice. Oh, well, you can die. That's fine, They don't play around with Castorice. They don't. You can tell that everyone has such a care for her and they worry about her. And they see someone, even like Cypher, man. Even Cypher. Like, who is a character who clearly is like playful and mischievous, stopped for a split second to be like, think about yourself sometime, girl. Even Anaxagoras lied to her so she wouldn't feel bad about this experiment that he was doing. And Anaxagoras may lie sometimes, he may be mischievous, he may have this arrogance about him, but he tells it like it is sometimes. And to lie to Castorice, to me that shows a care. You could say, well, he didn't want her to react and say no, but that also shows the knowledge that he knows Castorice cares about people. You know what I mean? Like, this whole world that Castorice has built around her is embodied by that picture because everyone in that picture cares about her so much. Her embrace has been warm, not through physical touch, but through the emotions that she has connected with the people around her, the beautiful people that she's met along this journey that have led her to this moment of feeling at peace. And she finally realized that when she saw that picture, that all this time I've spent in this place, the Styxia stuff, the Idonia stuff, it has all led to this moment, and it's the reason why I met Aglaia. It's the reason why I met Finon and Midemos and Hyacinth and all these people. It's the reason I met these people and had this amazing life. It's the reason I got to finally have food with people, to have fun with people, to buy my favorite toys and cuddle them at night. It's the reason I got to do all this stuff. So she finally saw beyond the layer of pain that we have been seeing beyond for a while. And to me, it's such a beautiful thing because as fans, we look at stories sometimes and we know the end is coming for someone. We know there's tension arising from some sort of thing that's happening. We know there's a bomb under the table that's going to blow up at any point, right? We know this. But the character doesn't always know this. We know Castorice was loved. We know Castorice had lived a good life. We know Castorice had many friends and beautiful people around her. We know this. Castorice knew it too, but it's hard to see past, again, that layer of pain and suffering. But in those final times there we had there with her, she saw beyond that. She saw right beyond that and realized that she was loved. And it seems that in these final moments here, she chose to fulfill her prophecy or her destiny. And it seems she's going to be giving the core flame back to Stell to bring it back to Aglaya. But she embraced her sister and Pollux, it seems, there too, who seemed to be protecting them in some way. And she chose to keep this place, the Sea of Souls, the River of Souls, forever with her sister, ending her sister's lonely journey. And to me, it is two things. It's finally being at peace with the world, but it's also her wanting to give her sister something back that she had given to her. And she sees her sister as giving her the resurrection of Castorice was one that originally was pain, was one that was originally born of pain, of not fitting in with this world, of not knowing who she was or why she was in this world. But then it became one of love and a new friendship and a new world. And she thanks Polyxia for that. And Polyxia, in those years, that's all she wanted. To not be forgotten and to make sure Castorice had a good life. She didn't get one of those things in the end, but now she has it. They're going to remember each other forever. She's going to remember Polyxia forever. And so will an Anaxagoras. Anaxagoras now is using... Like, if you think of it this way, I don't want to be forgotten. Your sister's going to remember you, and the greatest scholar known to mankind is going to remember you, and you're going to be a part of his thesis forever. You are part of his new revelations about the world. You've changed the world with your memory. Like, it's insane. So she's choosing to stay there. So they're going to basically bring balance back to life and death, and they're going to breathe new life into this sea of souls, these river of souls, and let people pass on into the next life. A lot of other stuff happened in between there that was really cool. The Mightimus showing up was really, really awesome. To show that he was still fighting and he's dying, constantly fighting. And it's really brutal to even think about that, but that's what's happening here. And in the end, you could see the support he was giving to Castorice. He even said to her, like, I want you to, find, basically, in no uncertain terms, I want to find your own path and be comfortable with your own path. And you can tell how much he cares about her as well. That's his schoolmate. That's that friend that he'll never delete from his contacts. You know what I mean? And then the stuff with Trian as well, which was so sad but so beautiful at the same time too. Handing her the picture was like the final straw in all this, and understanding that she has so much care in this world, and that even after death, the triplets still have a connection beyond that too. Cypher understanding, and this is such a powerful moment, Cypher understanding that she doesn't even need to give the message from Aglaya. That to me is huge. She's like, I know where Castorice is going, I don't need to give this message anymore. And she walked off. It almost feels like Castorice is walking on her own 2 feet after all this. People have helped her, embrace this world beforehand. It's really, really beautiful in that sense. The actual location that we were in was absolutely fantastic. But the Styxia is incredible. The moon looking down on us is amazing. The boss battle with Pollux was incredible and so breathtakingly sad. But at the same time, too, there was no it wasn't epic in the way of yeah, let's go for it. It was kind of just like, this is kind of like, it feels weird. It's beautiful to look at. The music is beautiful and the battle is interesting, but it never felt during that battle that feeling of urgency to destroy this thing. You know what I mean? That you get in other boss battles, It's a weird feeling, and that's probably, again, I would say it's intentional because I choose to believe that games understand how we feel most times. You know what I mean? They know that we're going to feel in those times. We met so many different souls on the way that give us so many hints of the world too, whether it be the scholar who talked about the idea of the dragon not being a fairy tale, and the death of the fall of Pollux, and how this I hope they don't think I'm saying the bollocks, because of the Irish accent, but I said it anyway. But yeah, it's a really interesting journey that we've been on with Castorice. But that's my thoughts on what happened here. Maybe I'm missing some stuff here or there. I probably will remember stuff afterwards. But I just want to say that I think this was an incredible story with a lot of incredible happenings.
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
And it's not over yet. I don't think it's finished, because I think the Axe has to go. We have to do stuff now with Anaxagoras as he's moving towards the Council of Elders and the Public Council and all this stuff too. There still has to be the thing with the core flame. I think that like there will be maybe something to do with Castorice still. And when I say something to do with Castorice, I think like maybe like even like a message or something like that. You know what I mean? There's something probably there. Because again, this act isn't over yet. But knowing my luck, I'll probably go into the next thing and it'll be like a 2-minute act, you know, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be. They paced this thing really well, in my opinion. But yeah, I really loved all of this, guys, and I found it to be incredible. To really just like put a pin in everything, I think Castorice's story is clearly a very heartbreaking one, but it's one that I think that in the end, she is glad to have had that story. And that's the summary of everything for me, is that Castorice had an absolutely brutal journey and a brutal story, but in the end, she's able to embrace the fact that she had a good life as well in some parts too. It's more than incredible. It's more than amazing. And she got to finally see her sister as well. I will miss Castorice if this is the last time we see her. I will miss her. She is a character I love dearly. It's not going to be easy just to say goodbye to a character that we've been with for a while and has been one of our closest companions, really, and that has kind of like found a way to kind of live in this world in a very beautiful way as well. Guys, I thank you so much for watching this. And if you guys want to join the Patreon at any level, it helps out so much in letting me continue to do this for you guys all the time. It really does add that cushion that makes everything possible, really. So if you can, on YouTube members of Patreon, you don't have to, but if you can, it's always very, very welcome. If you want to get this video early, and she's found a way to kind of like come to terms with the world, you know, but then it's, you know, staying in the Sea of Souls then. But guys, if you wanted this video early, this video came out on Wednesday this week. And it came out with the €1 tier or the $1.50 tier. If you want your name in the credits that's going by on the screen right now, that's €10 or whatever it is in your currency. And if you want your name read out by me at the end of every single video, that is the €15 tier, which is the highest tier. And all of it's really, really helpful. I will say that as well. The Patreon makes sure that I can continue to do this as well going forward. As I said, yeah, it's really, really awesome that people can support. And if you can't support, it's okay too. Don't worry about that whatsoever. But I thank the people that do support. Thank you so much to Typharo 2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Liam, High Kasparian, Jared Beanham, Neo Sharite, Leah 200, Malcolm Hyundai, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Royal Gamer 7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.